What up, what's happening, everybody? My name is Charles Blades, and this is the Current Game Podcast. We have a whole new setup, David, looking fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
Not permanent.
Just. Oh yeah, no, this just happened this week. But this little border thing around here is looking fucking cool. That's all permanent. All the YouTube channel is different. All kinds of crazy new stuff going on, and I got my main man, Trophy Pops himself, Drew Sheffer, with me. How's it going, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you having a good day?
Better than last week.
Better than last week?
Also, 1 out of 10 on the drunk scale.
Drunk scale, not a full 9 to 8.
Not an 8 to 9.
I was
not a 0.
Where the 1 is.
Yeah, I know the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came
some
from.
Poppy seed muffin.
The potato himself, Aaron Weeks. How's it going, buddy?
It's good, man.
We missed you last week.
Yep, you did miss me last week.
You were just not on the show at all.
I was not. I wonder what happened. Dude.
I know, who knows?
It's like I was there for part of it.
I know. Critically acclaimed Connect 4 Queen. I'm doing a different one. Cheyenne Clark. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
You just drove in from Columbus. Tell me about your drive.
Tell me
about your. Did you do this thing out the window?
Your hand is a
No,
dolphin.
absolutely not.
No.
You rode.
I rode.
Did you see any cool animals?
You guys take a trip to the zoo on the way back?
Did I see any cool animals?
I said you rode, because I drove, she rode in the car. What
Yes.
the fuck are you guys laughing?
Call it
Just the way that you said it was like, I don't know, it threw me off. You're like, and then CJ laughed,
That's a verb, to ride,
Yeah.
rode.
Yeah.
Past tense.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Anyway.
That is what it means.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, we just got in. And I'm here also.
Yeah. Damn, I can't. I was making a joke about DJ Khaled not performing Cunnilingus
I
on
did
his
see that.
wife.
I'm in the loop.
Was the joke I was gonna make, but couldn't think of it. Does anybody have suggestions? Nope. All right, cool.
Nope.
Moving on. What was I moving on to?
What? Did
Fuck.
you fucking
Yeah,
shut
I
up?
fucked it up.
We were going to
All
talk about the
We're talking
changes
about all
to
the new
channel.
stuff, all the news changes to the channel. So we're having a whole new slate of stuff coming to the channel.
Yep.
Starting with the podcast. The podcast has new overlays, new cool stuff,
New logos
for a bunch of stuff.
Exciting.
That's gonna post every Monday at 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Like it normally does. It's also on podcast services. It's been on there for a few weeks. You don't really control how that all stuff like goes up there and stuff.
Just kind of randomly uploaded out of order.
Yep,
But
basically,
there it is.
whatever. So, but they'll be in order from now on. They're also on iTunes and Google Play. You can check all that stuff out. Then after that, so that's going to post every Monday. Then on Tuesday, Aaron, you and Drew are doing something.
Yeah, so the first show I think is Nintendo Corner, right? And then we're doing...
No, Tuesdays
is retro.
Okay, Tuesdays is retro.
Yeah.
My mistake. And so...
You fool!
For Current Goes Retro, what we're doing is just going back and playing old games and kind of talking about, like... not necessarily. It's mostly just like a Let's Play where sometimes we're also going to talk about kind of where those games were and where they are now. Because, like, sometimes, obviously, there's remakes, sequels, stuff like that. Mostly just games that we had fun with as kids and maybe even some games that we've never played before.
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, then on Wednesday, I know you guys have
Yeah, we've got a show.
guys
Current
talk about
Couples going up. Not necessarily just me and Cheyenne. I mean, anybody's free to do co-op things on there. But it's a multiplayer-centric show. We're starting it off with some Castle Crashers going up on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try out the new Stardew Valley beta multiplayer. And yeah, it's just going to be me and Cheyenne and whoever else wants to join. Multiplayer games, maybe we'll yell at each other. It'll be a fun time.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool.
Oh yeah.
That's in the pipeline.
Cool. And then Thursday, Drew?
Thursdays, Aaron and I have another show where we play the Nintendo Switch games, and it's not just exclusives, it's just showcasing any game that we can get our hands on, really, and giving everyone an opportunity to see different games on the Switch, because some things don't run that well, and some things do. So it's just kind of, I know a lot of people own the Nintendo Switch, so it's just a way to play games on there. And that's every Thursday, I'm assuming 10 a.m.
Yeah, 10. Everything goes up at 10.
Everything goes up at 10.
Then on Friday, I'm gonna bring back the opinion show I had going for a little while that I quit doing. It's called The Hot Take.
The Hot Take.
Basically, every week I'm just gonna delve into a new topic or whatever. And I'm gonna try to keep them around 5 minutes, so they're not they're quick, short, get in, get out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, basically, it's literally I'm just copying the Gymquisition and
So it's our only scripted show.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Cool.
And a bunch of all the Last Week Tonight basically does this with his thing, except more in depth and with things that matter. So yeah, but basically we're rebooting, soft reboot of the channel on our 1 year anniversary, and that our 1 year anniversary brings me to this where we're gonna look back at our past 1 year. I have stats
Oh no.
for everything. I wanna
Stats.
see. Yes, stats. I want to see what you. Oh no,
Jesus
that's all.
Christ.
That's my tweets. Never mind.
Excel spreadsheet of your tweets?
Uh-huh.
You fucking
Why?
madman.
No, it's like if you download your tweets,
Oh.
then it comes in an Excel
It's like
spreadsheet.
a-
No, I don't
he
like.
actually just
I don't.
he
No,
documents
Yeah, I
every tweet.
document that all. Podcast stats is the Excel
that's the
spreadsheet
one.
I want to use.
Okay.
I want to use. All right, so I'm gonna go through here. All right, so no one look at my screen. Everybody look away.
I was looking up here. I wanted to see
We're yeah.
on
All
our
right.
main screen.
So, all right, who do we think has the most episodes of the show?
I mean, it would have
You.
to be you, wouldn't it?
Obviously, it's me. I never missed a fucking episode. You
Yeah.
fucking loser.
Well, I mean,
to be fair, I've missed 2 that I slept through, and then you guys came back the next day and did
Yeah.
it
That
with me.
should count as missing.
yeah, that
but-
should count.
but
So
I've
you're
been here
minus 2.
All 52 episodes. Who's second?
David.
How many episodes do you think you've missed, David?
I've missed 2 episodes.
You've missed 4 episodes.
Damn.
You almost
You
said
missed-
4.
You missed 2 episodes of your own volition, and then 2 episodes where we were doing one locally without you.
Ah,
guys.
that's
So,
okay.
so
Okay.
kind of
That's
you
what
were
I
right.
thought too.
All right, now who do we think is next?
Cheyenne.
You think Cheyenne?
For
I
like
wasn't
most
there at the
episodes?
Next most
Oh.
episodes.
So if
Probably
you
Cheyenne,
have
yeah.
those-
Well, you weren't in the beginning, and when I took a break, I don't know. I came
gotta be
back. You
past
were
it.
there.
I don't.
I don't know. Me.
No, it's definitely not me. I think she's not more
It's
than me.
true.
It's me.
It's Cheyenne.
Oh.
Ah,
Cheyenne
damn. You
had-
had me convinced it was
Cheyenne-
me. You had me convinced.
Cheyenne has been 20 or 36 episodes,
Okay.
which is
How
I feel
many?
52.
gap.
52.
Yeah, it's not that bad. She missed a bunch at the beginning, like you guys
the
said.
first ones and yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next.
Aaron. Am I last? It's not me.
No,
It's
I
you.
would say it's you because like
Dude, it's
I straight up quit doing it for a while.
It's actually it's someone that we don't know who's been on these podcasts.
It's Aaron with 32 episodes.
Wow.
And then
that
I have
he was on
26.
Because Drew missed 3 months, just did not do one.
Yeah, no, I
when
stopped
you,
doing
when
the
you
podcast.
take that break when
and then
you're
also
working
have
and
a kid, so
yeah,
so-
oh yeah,
Oh,
and yeah.
Yeah, take
So
all
Drew,
things into account.
Drew's missed 28 episodes. So our first
Why we
episode.
gotta look at it as missed episodes? It's so fucking
Are you
negative.
not missed? You've
Why
been,
it's so
you've
negative?
been on 28
Like,
episodes.
I've been on
Yeah.
28 episodes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right, so the
I
first
don't know if
episode,
the word
David-
missed is negative.
The way he said it, yeah.
The way
Oh,
I,
okay.
yeah,
he was like,
I-
"Well,
I-
Drew's
I-
missed 28
And there was
venom
episodes."
in there.
Our first
Yeah, there was.
episode, David, do you remember what it was?
Oh fuck.
It was just David and I.
Yeah.
Mhm.
First few.
I remember there's no video.
No, but
No
I remember
video.
I remember it feeling pretty normal. I don't think I was nervous, so I think
It
pretty
was.
much the
It was.
same.
What did we really think of What Remains of Edith Finch? We did a spoiler cast of that game. That's the first
yeah.
episode
Mm.
of this
That was cool.
podcast.
It was alright.
Then after that, Drew, do you remember your first episode?
Nope.
Nope. It was the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
It was called Games for the Games for the Rest of the Year. That was your first episode.
Oh, okay.
Then the week after that was the first episode we did with video.
Yeah.
And if you look back, I like threw it together in like 10 minutes. It's fucking
bad.
disturbingly ugly
Yeah.
how bad it looks. That episode is politics in gaming,
Mm.
and that's what we talked about Far Cry 5 having politics in it. But
On the 4th episode?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah,
God,
because
that
you're
game-
talking about like
forgot.
the news.
Gotta- we talked about it so much after it released it. Delete.
so then
Yeah.
then after that I got my shit together and made the second layout we had that was very ugly.
Mhm.
And that was our 100% Money in the Bank E3 predictions. Then our longest episode at 2 hours and 42
This was
minutes.
relatively recently. Yeah.
No.
Really?
That was the Far Cry one is the longest continuous episode.
Oh.
This is a 2-parter from E3 where we
Oh,
talked
that's
about
right.
everything at E3 for 2 hours and 42 minutes.
Oh.
That was David,
Yeah.
Drew, and I.
Yeah.
Then all right, Aaron and Cheyenne. Do you remember your first episode?
I think I was on the midway of the year one where we were all together, but I don't know if I was on before then.
I think it might have been the Atari episode, but I'm not sure.
The Atari episode. The
Yeah.
first
The
episode
scandal.
you were both on.
Oh.
Is our only episode that wasn't filmed in the greater Cincinnati area. It was in
That's
Columbus.
Oh, that one was
It was
cool.
called
Yeah.
our
I thought it
favorite,
was.
the best video game soundtrack.
That's when I was
Oh,
drinking that
that's right.
nasty
That's what
stomach
they
acid
call it.
beer.
And that was also
Yeah.
the first episode we all filmed in one room.
I thought that's why they were there.
Yeah.
No,
Why
we
would
were.
he be
I
there?
wasn't going.
Oh.
Fucking Sean. It was for when we saw all the.
That's when you woke up in the middle of the night
Fortnite
and threw
trilogy
up for
movies.
no
I
reason.
threw up in David's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Does anybody know the only guest that's ever appeared on our show?
Caleb.
No.
Oh yeah, because that episode didn't.
Oh.
We didn't
fuck.
record it.
We've never
Oh,
we've
shit.
never had a guest.
Sorry, Caleb.
The only guest was my girlfriend Cheyenne,
Oh,
who
yeah,
was on
for
the
the-
episode for the Uncharted Lost Legacy Spoilercast.
What?
That-
Was I on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
I must
Yeah,
have-
They
you
were
were on
sent
it.
together.
You?
Oh, I don't think
you
I was
and
on that
Cheyenne
episode.
were on it.
I really liked that.
Yeah.
that
That was our 19th episode. And then the week after that was the episode we lost with Caleb. And does anyone remember what that episode was about?
I wasn't on it.
That was. I remember that was a good episode
It
though,
was,
and it just.
but I don't-
That's the only episode we've lost. Also,
I don't remember what it was about.
it was about PewDiePie saying the N-word.
Okay.
Damn.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Going forward, our shortest episode. Does anybody remember what that one is?
44 minutes. I don't remember
No.
I
what
don't
it
think
was.
he's asking for the
I'm guessing. I'm just throwing out numbers.
Anybody? You got any idea?
Shortest
Shit.
episode?
I mean, like,
Mhm.
it's been it's slower news in, like, February. No, it's not, because, like, the big release month is, like, March. So it would have had to have been recently or in the beginning of, like, a spring.
December.
I have literally
time.
no idea because I
Our-
missed like
our shortest episode. Drew. I'm looking at Drew and Aaron because they were both on it. It was 23. It was an episode that got cut in half.
Oh yeah.
Because I shot Sprite out of my water
Oh,
bottle.
yeah.
I corrupted half of it.
Yeah, that was good.
It was
We
an
saved that.
episode
That was a
called
good one.
Digital versus Physical. It was our 21st
What was
episode.
our most awkward episode? Do you have this
That might have been it. That might have been it with Drew looking at the ceiling like I just bought this apartment.
Yeah.
The
No,
first episode.
The reaction is just going
Here's
like this.
here's a crazy one. It took us 29 weeks. What's the first episode with all 5 of us?
like a number, roughly?
Like, what were we talking about? What do you guys...
With all of us here?
With all of us anywhere.
didn't you just say the first one with all of us together was in Columbus?
No, that was us 4. Drew wasn't there for that.
Oh,
that was the
okay.
first one we were in the same room together.
It's either
With
the
all
one.
5
It's
of us.
either,
That was
it's either the
not
one
that
in
long
Aaron's
ago.
apartment or it's the one where we did our top games of the year.
It was the one in Aaron's apartment. It was
Okay.
called Thanksgiving. is what it was
Thanksgiving,
called.
yeah, that's why we were all
The
together.
one where we were talking about
Yeah.
Richard Spencer, and I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about Phil Spencer.
Then we got the new layout on the 39th episode, the Monster Hunter review episode when that came out.
Okay.
And then our 1-year anniversary is today for the God of War Spoilercast.
Cute.
So I thought that was
What
fun.
a good topic for the 1 year.
I thought that was
Celebration
a fun
of-
little thing to do. It only took me like 2.5 hours to get all those stats one night.
I feel like that's very easily, like, you could sort that in YouTube, right?
Yeah, but I had to put them in an Excel spreadsheet and then decide. I had to read all the descriptions to see who was in each one and like everything like that.
No, the counting of the people.
Yeah,
I
that was
guess that's-
annoying. And
I guess if you actually changed the description, you could have just read all
But you
the
know
stuff,
what? It's
so-
worth it because now we have it on record.
because now we have it on record. I'm doing it every week now, so it's much easier.
Yeah.
Been doing this for the past like 3 or 4 weeks.
Cool.
But we have a good news week. We're doing a normal podcast still. So we got a big news week this week. We're talking about Fortnite, of course. So Aaron, hit me with the Fortnite music for the Fortnite weekly news update. Yeah. Fortnite changes are happening. This story comes from Kotaku and Patricia Hernandez. It says, after weeks of build-up, Fortnite's comet has finally smashed into the map. Tilted Tower still stands, but Dusty Depot, there's a crater there for now. It's also called Dusty Divot. Better yet, the point of impact is surrounded by rocks that will let players mess around with low gravity. While Dusty Depot was hit the hardest, other landing spots have also changed in subtler ways. And there are also small craters around the map. Many of them seem to have gravity-defying rocks. Actually, there is a new area now called Risky Wheels, which is situated up north and is the movie area featured in the trailer.
Mhm.
So I know Drew, Cheyenne, and I have been playing this a bunch. What are we thinking of the new changes to Fortnite?
Dusty
I'm
Divot
sad
sucks.
about the prison.
I know.
Why
Sad
is it
about
suck?
the
low
prison.
gravity sounds
RIP
cool.
the prison.
The
dude.
prison was,
gone?
yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
mostly
got
gone.
fucked up.
So that was
Like,
the prison was like top 3 drop
It was
spot.
top 3 drop spots.
And like the crater just took out like the entire
like,
kitchen,
All of
most of the cells,
yeah.
and then like
Is
the
it that big? It goes from Dusty Dippet to the prison?
No. There's
There's
multiple
oh,
craters all
Jesus
over.
Christ, that'd be terrible.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where they are.
It's just
Yeah.
a crack in the world.
Yeah.
Are they super
Yeah,
far
there's
apart?
just little
Yeah, they're
bits
there.
of
And there's like little asteroids, scattered around, but like the prison will be missed.
I would say the prison got hit the hardest.
I
out of the
hate
normal.
we're dropping in Dusty Divot though.
Oh
It's
yeah,
very
drop
annoying.
like and it ruined the prison not only because there's not as much loot there anymore, but also like a bunch of people go there now because there's
Yeah.
like a
Never
fucking
seen it.
crater there,
exciting.
Yeah.
and it's fucking
Yeah.
like man, this is like we were trying to have a chill game, man.
Yeah,
What do they do besides the gravity stuff? Do the rocks and shit do anything?
they added superhero hideouts,
Yeah, they added
Oh,
which is
yeah,
like
that's
that's
superhero.
not like gameplay necessarily. It's just like new locations that aren't POIs.
Yeah.
We got one
Specifically,
out.
there's one really cool one in
on
like
is that the East Coast?
yeah, it's
the
the East
Wayne
Coast.
Manor,
It's like
we
it looks
call
like
it.
Wayne Manor.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got like a little bat cave and like.
Don't
Yeah.
you feel like you'd rather, instead of them doing all these little gimmicks with the map they have, like make a new one?
Yeah, so
Kinda,
that's
yeah.
something that
I was kind of
talked
hoping there
about
would be a new one that was like the comet hit like outside the island and the comet was the
Was
map.
the
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and you could see it from.
Although
yeah.
you know that rumor that I heard with the there's that camera and there's that dinosaur print.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's like this crater somehow changes? I mean, you can go like kind of like a desert, like it kind of.
Yeah, the
I guess
thing
that's
Drew
like
was
a
telling me
thing.
about was that in the PvE mode they added a new like thing that's like desert themed and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it wouldn't be surprising if in like the next future big
Yeah,
like,
they have
update.
assets.
They
Yeah,
have
that's what I said.
assets
They have the
for
assets, so
Yeah.
like I realize it's not like click at the button to put it into the battle royale, but like the assets are there. So
Okay.
yeah.
That'd be
So
cool.
you guys playing the PvE mode? Like,
No.
No,
No, I
it's
thought I saw you in there.
when you first log on, it
When
says
you
you're in
first log
home.
on.
You're in a home
Oh.
base.
Yeah, the PvE still calls.
If my
for it.
rating's ever above 1, then I've played it.
Yeah.
okay.
I
Yeah.
would play it.
If I ever get a
Right.
trophy, I'll play it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
so annoying. All the trophies are tied to the
Yeah.
fucking PvE mode. I fucking
Even if you
hate
gave me
it so
like
much.
5 trophies,
Like, dude,
for
like
battle
anything.
royale, I'd
I
go.
do. I wish that they had a separate trophy list. I would totally platinum this game if there was
Yeah,
a separate.
I mean, I
trophy
think we would have by now.
list.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done. I mean, like aside from like absurd stuff, I've done like a huge amount of stuff.
Mhm.
But I really like to do. I think the next step is probably a new map.
On your
Yeah.
map.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
can only do so much with what they have.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I feel like it's getting really cramped now. And then like, what do you? How are you gonna? Like season 5, what are you gonna do with the map? Are you just gonna go like regressive and just be like,
Yeah.
well, we cleaned up the asteroid, Dusty Depot's back. Like,
Yeah.
They're definitely doing what they can to keep it from being a flash in the pan, though. I mean, this game
Yeah.
is gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a long.
yeah, I just think
run.
that at the point now, like, there's a lot going on the
Yeah.
map. And I
That's
don't want it
cool,
to be
though.
like every square is like a
Nah,
POI. I don't want it to be like that. That's why I think that like it's pretty good now. They get rid of Dusty Divot though.
I think
And then
they
they
know
do.
better than to.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
Oh, that's right. Dusty Divot took out the depot. Also took out the ironworks right next.
So
to
now
it.
there's
Just
only
gone.
one
Yeah,
ironworks.
that's
I like
Just
it.
gone. That was another.
Isn't there like a weird moon base inside the divot?
Yeah, there's
too?
a
Yeah, there's-
Probably
it looks-
reverted.
It looks exactly like in fucking Thor 1, where Thor's hammer lands. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what it looks like.
and you can't break it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So
Cool.
yeah, that's what's going on with that. This next story here is about Red Dead Redemption 2, and the story comes from Timur Hussein from GameSpot. And I want to talk about the story a little bit. All right, yeah. He wrote. He says, as promised, Rockstar Games has released a brand new trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's eagerly anticipated open world action game. This trailer is more of an extensive look at the game's story, setting the mood for it, and offering a better grasp of its narrative and gameplay. So originally, this story was titled Red Dead Redemption 2's trailer shows off story and gameplay. It shows no gameplay in it.
They said
And
the whole
this-
thing's gameplay.
It's huh?
Then they said the whole thing's
The
gameplay.
whole thing is not gameplay. The whole thing is a cinematic fucking.
I saw
thing.
an article that said the whole thing's gameplay.
Bullshit. There
There
is
were
no
cutscenes in the trailer.
gameplay.
Which
in
makes
that
sense,
at
but
all.
Maybe in engine.
Yeah, that,
I don't.
Oh,
I
this
don't.
is
I didn't.
bullshit.
I don't read the articles. I just read the titles.
That's-
I'm one of those people.
Every
There-
pre-release video you see of a game is not real. It's all.
Are you telling me that Bioware game's not gonna look like that? You telling me Anthem's not gonna look that
I
good?
don't
No, Bioware's is exceptional.
But at least that, like, they faked gameplay, and there was like some
Right.
relevant.
Yeah.
This story had no gameplay in it, so shame on GameSpot for that fucking misleading ass headline that I thought was terrible.
Would you say it is?
It is clickbait, yes. The thing I wanted to talk about though is this Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. What do we think of it?
Who fucking cares? Like,
I
I'm
didn't
really
watch
excited
it.
for that game, but like, who
Mhm.
fucking cares? It's like, if it had been, and you guys all remember talking about when the first Red Dead came out, they had all those trailers that were like, had that narrator guy. It was like, and you can form posses with your friends online and do all these activities, and like it would go through like the chunks of like what the game was. Do you
Yeah.
remember those?
Yeah.
It was like what the gameplay and like the story.
Like the
and it's,
BBC documentary, like version
kind of,
of
it
the
had this
trailer.
like gruff Wild West man like narrating
Uh-huh.
like what the game was about.
Right.
If it had been like that, I would be like, yes, this is what I want. It's just another fucking cinematic, showy offy trailer.
Mhm.
It's flim flam. Like I don't care about seeing more cinematics and more of what your game looks like in the graphical sense.
Yeah.
Because I know it's gonna look good and I know the story should be. I mean, I expect it to be great.
It's fucking flim
Uh,
flamed.
The flim flamer, dude. The flim flamer, dude.
But I wanted more out of it. I didn't want just another trailer that's like. Also, the Wild West is ending. Wasn't that the exact fucking setting of the
Yeah,
first
that
game?
worries me a little bit. I also am not a fan of prequels. Like those always make me nervous when
Yeah.
it comes to like a new game, just because. I mean, this has been said, but like going into a prequel, it's like, well, I already know what's gonna happen, kind of.
I disagree with that. And actually, that almost comes into like a spoil. It's like so, like people say if you get spoiled on like a big media property, it like lessens the experience. So that's kind of like what that's tying into is like you know the outcome, so what does it matter like what happened before?
No, I'm not saying that. It's just I personally, it's harder for me to engage with the story if I know where it's going because it's
Okay.
like I don't really
I
care.
don't know. I'm kind of the opposite. I'm more of a journey, not the destination kind of person. And I am excited to see like 'cause we heard so much about Dutch's gang. You know, in the last game was like Dutch this, Dutch that.
That is cool
I'm
to
excited to see how they handle that. But I really wanted to see some real gameplay or some tangible story elements other than just guy yelling at people. Oh, there's a black lady. How interesting. Let's write an article about that. Like that's cool
Was
and
there?
all.
Oh.
Yeah, there was.
I
But
knew the white lady.
Mhm.
but it's just not enough for me. So
Yeah.
have the floor.
I watched it while we were actually playing Fortnite, and totally missed the John Marston thing.
There was a John Marston?
Yeah, John Marston's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Young
fuck.
John Marston.
Yeah, because he's
with
got
a
the fresh
non-scarry
scars, so like
scar.
you figure out where he came. Okay,
I guess he'd have to be in it, right? 'Cause he's in Dutch's
exactly.
game.
But someone remind me, what was John Marston's son's name?
Jack Marston.
Jack Marston. When
That's all I remember.
that game came out forever ago, so this I don't even care about the spoiler. But when you beat the game and then you end up ultimately playing as his son.
Makes the
So
game
I
worse.
told CJ, I said, wouldn't it be cool in this one if you play that main guy, then you die, you play as
John
John,
Marston.
and that'll just make everybody happy because then you just get to play as that badass cowboy.
The thing I honestly think they're gonna do is like Dutch's gang is probably gonna be like how many people we think, like 9 people ish.
It looks
It's
like
Like a GTA
8 or
thing.
9. I think they're gonna do a GTA 5 where you can play all of them.
No!
I
I
think
don't
that's
want
what's
it.
gonna
I
happen.
want
No.
one fucking
100%.
character.
I'm
Well,
with
no,
David.
you know what?
I
You know what then?
I don't want that.
If that's the case, I'm just gonna play as John Marston.
I mean, I think you're gonna be able to choose. Like you could just do John's thing.
If you can just play them for the whole story and not have to switch.
I think, or maybe there might be small switching like sections, but like I think for the most of it, you're
I
gonna.
hope
but-
that they don't, because
well,
I
I
do not
guess-
like that.
I really think that's what's gonna happen.
Well, they could do it with 4, but didn't they? When they give like a profile on what's the main guy's name?
Arthur Morgan,
Yeah, they say he's like an enforcer.
perhaps.
Is he part of the gang?
I don't know. Like he had like a description, and
I
it
thought
said
he was
like
part of the gang.
I thought he was.
I think he is, but I'm saying if we play as different.
Oh, you're
characters
saying
and
like
he-
that's his
but
class
he's
is
an enforcer.
Okay.
So then maybe he's got a certain like.
Yeah,
how
like they did
everybody
it on
had-
GTA.
yeah,
Like
GTA.
Trevor's crazy, and so
So
he
you're
can
gonna play
take like a
somebody
bunch
who
of damage
uses
and stuff.
dynamite for everything.
That might be the enforcer. I don't know. Isn't there a picture of him holding the dynamite?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess dynamite.
He'd be like that guy from
anybody
Lost
could
that
hold
fucked
it.
around with the dynamite.
Anybody
they're-
can hold the dynamite. I don't.
The
get that
different characters,
reference.
like their Deadeye functions differently or something. It's like
Yeah, like a special ability.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they
That's
might
too
not
bad.
have.
I don't want them to spread it thin like that because I feel like GTA 5 was like such a massive map, but the narrative was so lacking because they had to splinter it. so
I
hard.
actually really liked it. I
It
guess
was
I'm in the
fine.
minority there. But
I didn't
thought
like
was
it,
really
but I'm
cool.
definitely in the mind. I don't care for GTA games.
Seeing it played out through different people's eyes. I really like that.
GTA 4's narrative is worse, but I liked the story more because of Nico being such a strong lead.
I hated Nico so much.
Yeah, but like at least
like
you.
like all of the GTA 5 characters, even Franklin, who everybody calls like a dud, is better than Nico. I hated Nico so
disagree.
much.
I think he's a pretty.
And his
good
fucking
protagonist.
terrible cousin too.
His cousin's great, dude.
I hated
Nico!
I hated him so much. But I'm excited to see. I am excited. I think the hype for this game, it's probably gonna like carry through because it is a Rockstar
Just
game.
chill the fuck out.
But like people are too much with this fucking game. I gotta be honest.
It's like so much easier to just not get hyped and then be pleasantly
Like
surprised.
I loved God of War. I didn't need fucking 16 different podcasts about specifically God of
Yeah,
War.
I did not.
Like
I didn't
dedicated
feel any-
podcasts.
Spoiler: we're gonna be
Yeah,
talking about
like-
God
Like,
of
no,
War.
I'm not saying like I'm saying there are podcasts that the sole purpose of the podcast is about Red Dead Redemption. And I'm just like,
What
we
is
don't
there to
need
talk
that.
about?
It's
Yeah,
just
that's-
annoying. Anyway.
Hype culture
That's too
sucks.
much.
Anyway, the next story we have here is about God of War. Speaking of which, it comes from Game Rant and Rory Young. It's about God of War. God of War sales. I mean, I looked at it as I was making that.
Yeah, you
comparison,
kind of
so
like
yeah.
shat on
That's the
things
joke,
that. Yeah.
God
like
of War's
that.
success has so far been self-evident with the 2018 continuation of the popular franchise, earning an outstanding critical reception as well as an impressive initial game sales. But an announcement from Sony now shows that even earlier reports may have underestimated the extent of the game's success. God of War is now the PlayStation 4's fastest selling exclusive, selling an astonishing 3.1 million units in just 3 days.
Nice.
Let's go.
Thoughts?
Good.
That's fucking
Yes.
crazy. Good for them, dude. I think part of the reason God of War has seen so, not part of the reason actually, but I think at least for me that it's so fucking crazy to play a God of War game that's this good is because of like where it's been.
Yeah.
Like looking at what the other God of War games were
Well, first three were
versus.
great, but like Ascension was garbage.
Yeah.
Like, all the
Well, I'm just
handheld
saying
ones
to
were
like
great.
to see it come
The
that
handheld ones
far,
were well
I think
better.
makes this one.
Ascension was bad. That was the last one.
I didn't play that. I never played any of them, so. But I think the handheld ones were. Like,
The handheld ones did.
Chainsaw
I didn't play
was
Ascension,
good.
but again, it's like a prequel situation,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like I don't care.
But continue. You were saying that basically you thought that the other games were maybe
it being more refined and like
It
older
being a
Kratos
lot
and
more
stuff.
refined and like just I think it wouldn't be what it is now if it wasn't for where it's been, if that makes
See,
sense.
I'm not. I don't know. Everybody's like, "Oh wow, how did this studio pull it off?" But like, we saw Guerrilla do this with Killzone to Horizon. Like, it wasn't the same IP, but like, you've seen studios pull out like some huge innovation in their game design philosophies,
Right.
Mhm.
their storytelling abilities between games, and it's mostly, I swear to God, it's just Sony's publishing. They are just. I feel like, and I don't know, I'm not like, I don't know to talk to the fucking Sony PR people, but I feel like they must give these studios a lot of creative freedom, whereas like a Microsoft is just canceling exclusive.
Not even a
after
Microsoft,
exclusive.
like I would say like an Activision or something like
Right.
that, where like it's like get it out like this fucking date. This is when the fucking shit is
I
coming.
mean, there's still a crunch because I know. Like,
oh yeah, it's
yeah.
ridiculous when you hear them talk about it afterwards.
But at least they have the ability to spitball ideas and in-house make decisions. And I mean, we've all heard the. I mean, I've heard the Corey Barlog. I always want to say fucking Balrog.
Balrog.
Interviews where he's saying like, oh well, we decided this, we decided that. It was never like, oh well, Sony came down and said, hey, this isn't gonna work.
He talked about the time frame thing at one point too, where he basically said that they came out and they're like, all right, man, you got to hit this deadline. Like, you can do it. We know that you can make it. And he's like, no, there's no fucking way. We're gonna put a release date on it when we're ready to do it.
Yeah.
So.
And not a lot of studios are afforded that luxury.
No, of course not. This is definitely this should not be the fringe case, is what I'm saying, and it shouldn't be surprising that a studio of really talented developers can put something this innovative and this successful out. They just need to be given the breathing room to think and create and not be pressured by fiscal year calendars and shit like that. It's just like, you know, it's a combination of incredibly talented team, Sony kind of knowing what they're doing with the marketing and the timeline and things. So.
And knowing nothing about business too, I think, honestly, Corey Barlog's presence, like in just stuff everywhere as the game was coming out afterwards, like in a little bit before, probably helped a lot. Just showing like how much he and his team like genuinely care and wanted to make a product.
That's been happening a lot more, I feel like, this generation than ever. Because before this generation, it was like Cliffy B was like a star. For years more, like he was synonymous with that, and Kojima was synonymous with Metal Gear, and Miyamoto, Todd Howard with Fallout, and Miyamoto with just
Peter Molyneux.
But like, I feel like this generation specifically, we've seen so many more of those people, like Jeff Kaplan from the Overwatch team is like a huge example, and like just and what's the guy from fucking Epic whose Twitter account's like the algorithm really wants me to fucking follow him, and like them putting out weekly updates and stuff like that, and just a lot more, I don't know, like personality driven like launches to games like that has been I think a pleasant thing to make it seamless.
I think it really helps.
Studios
are like these monolithic entities or
whatever. I think that's a really good thing to be able to see the actual humans that are like developing your games and not just like the big figureheads
the
the
name, the like logo.
Yeah,
like, that's what
like,
you associate.
Right, and personally, like I for sure, like listening to him talk about the game beforehand and afterwards made me care more as a consumer.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot. It's really interesting to listen to him talk about it, and like one of the things he mentioned too is how like during the development process they focused on making something that they cared about, that they loved, like as a product, instead of making something that they know is going to sell, if that makes sense.
Hit the review mark for the bonus.
Right, so they're like, I want to make a game that I love, and then we'll put it out and see what happens.
Yeah, it was almost like surprising to them. Well, not probably. That it scored so well. Maybe
Yeah.
No, it is that reaction. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, that reaction, like the video he put on.
I like that. And I think that like it's very tangential, but I think that like people wanting to see more video game documentaries, those being popular, people getting the behind the scenes looks and being really interested in that as a community. I think that that's kind of bringing this all to the surface, this human element of behind the studios and people that are working on the games.
Yeah.
All this talk of unionization and people really giving a shit about the names and the credits, you know, beyond just being unskippable or whatever. So it's nice. I really like this new trend, and I hope it continues. For sure.
Me too.
And then outside of that, just like I don't know. Yeah. Good topic. No, recognize the people that are making your games. This next story comes from Jordan Serrani from IGN. It says Battle Right is getting a Battle Royale mode. We'll put this in here for David, who loves that game.
I
Battle
really
Right.
like that game.
Top-down MOBA-like Battle Royale.
Fun, I played it.
A top-down MOBA-like Battle Royale mode is coming to Battle Right this summer. Developer Stumlock Studios announced today. Good name of their studio. Called Battle Right Royale. Terrible name. Terrible.
Yeah.
The new mode will retain the free-to-play MOBA top-down perspective and will take place on a map 30 times larger than the standard arena mode, according to the announcement. The mode will support free-for-all and duos and will support up to 20 players. It is a battle royale, but up to 20 players.
Yes.
That match will last literally maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
A typical Battle Right round lasts maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes. There's like a death. It's already kind of like Battle Royale because there's like a death orb that starts closing in on you. That you have to push to the center. And it starts closing in like a minute, right?
Yeah.
It's not even a MOBA. People that call this a MOBA, like, it doesn't even play like one. There's WASD movement. There's no mouse movement, and then all your abilities are tied to your mouse, and you aim. It's a lot more skill shots.
Yeah.
That's what they call them.
I mean, it's a MOBA. It's just like a different take on it, kind of.
There's
It's
no
like,
like leveling up though. It's just literally a deathmatch.
yeah, I guess.
So it's like MOBA style gameplay, but just the fun part, in my opinion. I really like Battle Royale. I stopped playing it because I don't know, the community's like great. It's not that huge. I just had other things to play. But this is like lame. Like this makes no sense.
My first question with this though is like, how do you make a battle royale out of a MOBA style game? Isn't like one of the kind of like key points of a battle royale that you're dropping into this world, not necessarily dropping, but like you have to
the same.
Yeah, you don't have any equipment, any weapons. Like you can't fucking do that in a MOBA.
This
Like,
is just a big deathmatch.
Yeah, it's literally. Why are they calling it battle royale?
It's big deathmatch and it's a buzzword.
I
knew
know.
this was gonna happen, and it's already happening. The series E3 you'll see a lot more similar bullshit.
It's not a true battle royale. They're just trying to ride the battle royale hype and get people into the
Like
game.
it's Counter-Strike's a battle royale. 'Cause
Like I think there's like Epic's building take on the PUBG formula. It's like a take on it. But when you have like I don't know for sure, but I'm like if this is a MOBA, I like assume certain characters are like designed to kill other characters.
Yeah.
So like if you're
So there's
going
gonna
to
be a
like a
balance.
character that's like literally your counter, like what the fuck
It's
is
the
this?
same thing with like the Paladins, or was it the Paladins that are like you can't play a support like character in this. That wouldn't make any sense. You're locked to like probably I can imagine a lot of Thorns, which is a character that's very strong, very good AoE, and very good at locking down a single target and just fucking murdering them.
Right.
If you played him, I don't know, maybe I got nerfed, I don't remember, but you would just be like at a distinct advantage over somebody who's trying to play like a healer.
Yeah.
Why would you like that? Just it cuts the roster down and it just makes it so homogenous. I'm not.
We'll see though. Maybe they'll do something crazy and surprises. But like thinking about it as a MOBA, like I don't understand how a battle royale could work.
Yeah.
I could see like a bigger game, like something with as many people as Fortnite, introducing something like classes where you could be a support, but you'd have to be like in a team, and that you'd have to balance it so that you could be able to like also kill people and not be countered by other things. But I think that might be interesting to have like classes like a support or like a tank or something.
I agree. Everything can be done.
Yeah.
It's like what resources are you willing to put into it, and are you just like aping things
Right,
from your
are you
base
just-
game, basically?
Yeah.
Well, and I guess, I mean, there aren't set classes, but when you played anything more than solos, like, we all have a
Oh
class.
yeah, you're the sniper. I'm the dude that charges in.
And like someone's got the 3 med kits
Yeah,
and like the
you're right,
pressure, like the shields.
You
and
do
stuff.
make that up.
You make your classes, but if there was something set, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that worked out.
And
I
if
think
it
very
started
true.
as like a blob, and you go around picking up abilities and leveling up.
The abilities are what you pick
You're
up.
just a great blob.
Absolutely. That'd be interesting. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm sure this will be far from the last game that takes on the battle royale.
Yeah,
So,
E3's just
coming
a
this
month
year.
away.
E3 is a
Talk
month
about
away.
this 10 more
Somebody's gonna
times
come up with a
this
really
year.
good slug for E3 this year.
This next story is about Stardew Valley and its multiplayer mode. This comes from Patrick Fowler at GameSpot, and he says Stardew Valley is one step closer to bringing multiplayer to the main game, and now players on PC are able to opt in to a new beta that allows them to try out co-op play. Developer Concerned 8, bad name, has announced version 1.3 of its now public beta, and those who want to try multiplayer can do so in the following steps to enable a new beta. Right click, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So Cheyenne, you're a resident Stardew Valley
Yeah.
expert. Let us know what are we thinking about.
I haven't played it
Stardew
yet,
Valley together.
but I am very excited for it. I've been like watching this. I've been like, oh, it's coming out sometime this year. It's coming out next month. Like, I'm super excited. I think it'll be a very fun way to play the game. David and I are going to try it out for current couples. I don't think he's as into Stardew as I am, but I'll show him the ropes. I'm very into that game.
It'll
I've
be
played
easier
like
than
a
you just
million hours.
telling me how to craft something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked Harvest Moon as a kid, but Stardew just I don't know. It's just not clicking.
It's
a bummer.
great. We'll
try.
work on it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm excited because you can like marry your friends and all of that fun stuff.
It's like real life.
Practice,
dude.
man.
Yeah, dude.
Cute.
Marry your friends. No,
Are you guys thinking about? Did you ever mess with Stardew at all? Drew?
No, I might give it a shot if like I play with them or something.
Is it just two players
I'm
or
not
4?
certain.
It's up
I
to
think
4,
it's
I'm pretty
4,
sure.
yeah.
That would be cool. That'd be a fun thing to do.
Do you
That
each
would
have
be
your
very
own
fun.
farm and like can do it, or do you raise
No,
a farm
you
together?
have one
Are you guys like
farm.
swingers kind of situation?
Yeah. You have one farm, and then I believe you get like another house on your farm where they live, and
Kind of like Animal Crossing. When
yeah.
your friend comes on, but
Yeah.
at separate times.
Yeah, like you get your own house and like your own storage and stuff. And I might be able to go into it when you're not online. I don't remember how that works, but
You gave her a key.
yeah. But I'm definitely excited to try it. We'll probably talk about it like next week or whenever we've actually played it.
Cool.
Cool. I'm excited to check that out.
Cool.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, after that's all the news this week. Give me the news jingle, Aaron. Cool.
Aaron's gonna like
like
Blue's Clues down
Yeah,
here.
that was the, yeah, you found a clue. Dude, how does that go?
What?
Blues
We
Clues.
found a clue.
No.
We
Blues-
found a clue.
How's the jingle? We found a clue.
Isn't that there's a song for whenever they find a clue, whenever
Blue's gonna
Steve.
do, we can too. I don't know what you're talking
man.
I don't
about.
remember.
but-
Yeah. Anyways.
Alright, anyway,
Blue's Clues.
that brings us to the games that are out this week. Drew, this is your thing, so I'm gonna let you take it away.
Okay, so we got Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. It
Oh,
comes
sick.
out 5/8. I believe last week I did say that I said it was coming out on Switch eventually. This is just the PC release. So Switch will probably be out in the fall. And then no one here cares, but if anyone listening does care, and you probably already know, Destiny 2 Warmind DLC will be out across all systems on
I don't
May 8th as well.
care in the sense that I'm going to play it, but I care in the sense
You're gonna
that
play it?
No, in that I'm going to play. I'm not gonna play it.
You're gonna play it.
No. But I'm interested to see how the community responds.
I'm excited to see how hard it
I've heard
flops.
some like pretty not good things about it.
I mean,
you
I'm
know
just
that you're
interested.
just fighting the Vex this time.
Yeah, it's-
And you're going to a new place.
the
But
fact
it's-
that
but
there's
it's
not
another
an
part of
enemy
Mars.
type is
Another part of Mars.
absurd.
No new enemies for 2 games. Not a single fucking
It's
one.
absurd.
What the fuck
Get it together, Bungie.
are you doing?
Like, real talk, I would not be surprised if Bungie doesn't make Destiny 3. Like, and Activision puts
Somebody
another,
else.
one of their
Bungie just
They didn't
closes?
even put Destiny 2 on their fiscal earnings report this year.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on the docket.
That bad?
Damn.
That bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very, very easy.
And then a game I've been waiting to play is Immortal Redneck. It's on Steam already. It's now going to be on Switch.
Cool.
And then Garage was one of the direct featured Switch games.
Gary.
What is that?
It was the one in the direct where they're
Is it
like,
the Highly
it's
Miami
so
one?
bloody that we
Yeah.
can't show you anything.
If it's the
So-
Hot Miami one, I'll try it.
Yeah,
It's like Ty
um,
Seagal comes in and then...
Yeah, it's kind of like, I watched, it's on the Coming Soon
My
part of
Summer
the
Cars
eShop.
edition.
Kind of looks like a mix between Hotline Miami and like a little bit of like a top-down Resident Evil.
Sick.
Okay.
That sounds really cool. I hope it's
But
good.
it looks good. You might be able to catch that on Nintendo Corner.
Awesome.
Cool.
Check it out.
Yo. So yeah, those are the games coming out this week. That brings us to the next segment of the show where we talk about what we've been playing, and we're just gonna block off this whole segment and just talk about God of War.
Warning! This is a spoiler cast.
Spoiler, yes, this
Yeah,
is a
you-
spoiler cast. So I guess we all like God of War, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
4 Leviathan axes out of 5.
No. That's our unspoilery impressions. It's good.
Great. I'd give it 5 out of 5.
I'd say it's a perfect game.
I
it is
The
It's
closest
it's
we've
a
seen to a
perfect
perfect game in a long
I mean,
time.
perfect in the sense that nothing is perfect. Yeah, don't give me the bullshit. 10 out of 10.
Hey,
games.
you said perfect. Words have meaning.
Fuck off.
No, they don't.
It was a 9.6.
Not in video games.
It was a very good game. I would almost hesitate and call it a masterpiece. I would say.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
But all right, so full spoilers. What do we think about the fucking chains coming back? Well, that was the
That
best
was hands
moment,
down
right?
the most hype moment in any video game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, I shit you not.
Let's scoot over
fucking,
here.
so I was sitting here playing by myself, like doing my thing, playing God of War, and I had the axe and I was like fucking people up. Right around the time I started getting comfortable with the axe, I was like, all right, like I've mastered this, like I'm gonna fuck shit up for the rest of the game, be fine.
Wrong.
I was thinking to myself, like just as a joke, like dude, it'd be cool if there was like a DLC where they brought back the chain blades or something. Like, what if they did that, you know? I'm like, what if I got to be Kratos again?
Yeah.
And then fucking you're sitting in Freya's hut, your kid's sick, shit's going down, and then she's like, your axe isn't gonna cut it in hell, mister. And then he says, hold on a second, and he looks at his little bloody wrist, and as soon as he looked down, I lost my fucking
Can imagine.
mind.
I know exactly what Aaron did. He went,
I literally no. I was so Megan was sitting next to me watching like fucking RuPaul's Drag Race or something, and I had headphones on, and so she couldn't hear anything that was going on, and I literally just started laughing like a crazy person because it's like a dark moment, like it's sad. Like I was upset not seconds earlier, and then I see him look at his wrists, and I started shitting myself. Like I was so genuinely excited.
that's awesome.
Oh,
I
man.
knew there was a big moment in the game, and I didn't know what it was. Everybody was like, when that thing happens, you'll be like, fuck, this game is special. And I was like, all right, I don't know what that is, probably overblown bullshit. And then I realized it was that, and I was like, oh, cool.
Fuck
And I was
yeah.
like, this is gonna be like a one-off. You'll get them for like a level, and then I'll take them away.
No, and it adds so much
Just
more depth.
another
The
weapon.
combat
Yeah.
is turned on its head halfway through the game. Could not have been paced better.
Get a whole new like set of
New
abilities.
rune attacks.
And you
stuff.
come out of that house with those blades and just start fucking
Yeah.
ripping people apart. And it was I've never
White
been so
Walkers.
excited in
I
my
would
life.
not recommend trying to do Muspelheim and the Valkyries without those, which I definitely tried to do. I was like, I'm just gonna go do those now, and I was trying to do everything with just the axe, all these AOE like mobs and shit. I was like,
Muspelheim
this
would be
sucks.
impossible. I actually didn't
Yeah.
use the blades for the Valkyries at all.
Really?
I used that.
I liked them for up close. I switched. It's good to have like those 4 runic attacks, but anyways, I thought they were just gonna be like a shallow like OP weapon you get for like an hour, and then they'll take them away. Nope, you got like
Just get a whole
pommels
new
for
weapon.
them, you get
Mhm.
runes for them, upgrade them. I was like, fuck, they did it.
Sweet.
And the final upgrade stage, it's like as you're upgrading, because they're being upgraded in this like Nordic environment by these dwarves,
Mhm.
they start to like adopt the
Yeah,
like
they have the runes on.
yeah,
them
they
and
get
stuff.
runes on them and shit, which
Yeah.
I thought was really cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was the moment that I knew that the game was even more expansive than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Because it felt at a lot of times like it could have ended and it would have been like the typical 8 to 10 hour cinematic.
That's kind
adventure
of what I
game.
expected going in too, and fucking, I don't. As you're playing, it's like you thought that at least I thought that they were trying to move away from the old God of War games, almost as if they were trying to like sweep it under the rug, like it didn't happen.
Everybody was saying
So,
that it was
like-
going to be like The Last of Us. They're like, oh, they're trying to do everything else Sony's doing. And I was like,
I don't know. I loved the beginning, even thinking that they were moving as far away from the old God of War like as they could.
yeah.
So like when he looked down at his wrist and I realized that we were gonna get the blades, I'd fucking I've legitimately never been that excited playing a video game.
Cool. So mechanically, yeah, game's great. What did we think of the narrative? What did we think of Atreus being Loki and Kratos being the World Serpent?
Okay,
That's
no, I
like
don't
some
think-
fan theory shit.
That
No, I
happened.
didn't.
I don't
Listen
think
to
that's
me.
true.
He when he sees the last mural on the wall, Atreus is stabbing him, and out of Atreus' mouth
But-
is coming the World Serpent.
Wait,
Also, Cory Barlog on record saying that that's not
He actually
intentional.
semi-confirmed it on the Easy Allies podcast. If you listen to it,
the like if you're like going to the real Norse like mythology, isn't like the world serpent Loki's son?
yes,
Yeah.
How does that work?
he's killing Kratos and birthing
The real
World Serpent,
the real
so
thing is
Kratos'
Kratos.
soul is like being transferred.
The real thing is Kratos is Tyr, and he's the one that can go like between realms and stuff like that, and that's how he got from like Norse mythology to Greek mythology to I assume Egyptian mythology.
Kratos
at
is
some point.
Tyr.
He's the new
Yeah.
tier.
I guess that
he's
could be
Tyr.
true.
Oh, is that the? is that
That's the
theory?
giant that.
That one makes a lot more sense to me.
Nah.
If we want to, all right.
But Aaron was telling me, he was all like, well,
If he's Tyr, why
the
did
world
he start
serpent,
in
the
Greek
world
mythology?
serpent's got a goatee. He's got
He
red,
looks like
and
Kratos.
he looks kind of sickly gray, like
that is true. That is true. Yes.
Plus, the World Serpent fought Odin and then got sent back in time, which explains how they're both in the same place at the same time.
Mhm.
Perhaps. All right.
From-
I'm
from,
sorry.
No,
I'm
you're good.
fucking crying tears of regret
Oh
when
my
I'm
God.
proving
I really
right.
hope they don't do that because I don't
I'd
like
be
that.
so fucking hype. You just and the last game is just you play as a giant worm.
I initially did not
I
like
might-
Judge
the,
like Katamari Damacy.
Yeah,
I might not be against that. That'd be kind of fun.
All right. So as far as the narrative goes, the general narrative of taking your mother or not your mother, your mother's ashes to the top of the thing was cool. I think the real like important part of it is Kratos and Atreus' relationship. How do we think they like handled that kind of stuff?
Very good.
Beautifully. I think that the character growth that Atreus showed was more obvious than Kratos's, but it was very much a catalyst for him kind of becoming more sentimental and understanding of his son. I really liked the part where it got to Atreus' head that he was a god, and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
becoming like,
He's
a,
like
little
a little
fucking
shithead.
bitch. Yeah.
He's like,
And-
I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Watch
See,
this.
all right, that was my least favorite part in the whole game.
No,
I
but
liked
was,
it, but it happened too fast.
It
I agree.
happened so like on a fucking dime.
No,
He goes from it did it.
There
like,
were
being
subtle
like-
cues, but like he went from being like kind of a little shitter for like a second
To-
to like suddenly he's like, Sindri, I hate you, fuck you and your brother.
He's
Yeah.
like the worst person
Well, no,
in
I
the
don't
world.
got time for
like
these little
him-
people problems.
Him
I
like
mean,
suddenly understanding all the things that his dad was saying to him, and then taking them like at face value because he's like dad.
But yeah, I also get that because he's a little kid and like he suddenly realizes like, God
That's
damn, I'm
exactly
powerful. This
how a
is
kid
yeah,
would act.
it is.
I felt like it was just forced, like to a.
It wasn't
You're looking at
yeah.
it through an adult's eyes.
I
If
mean-
you were a kid and you suddenly were like, "Oh, I'm like dad. I understand what he was trying to
He
say."
thought
and you
that's- yeah.
misinterpret everything.
Well,
that he
if
was
he's
telling
like dad, his dad's not a dick the whole game. Like,
I mean, but he
like
sees-
in the
No,
way
no, no. But he that
outwardly
actually, I
acts
never
like
even
a
thought
dick.
about this. So Kratos, earlier on in the game, every time something happens, he's like, I'm not interested. It has nothing
Yeah,
to
he's
do
been
with
saying
us.
that
It
the whole
doesn't matter.
game.
And that's what Atreus started doing even to the dwarves. He's
No,
like,
he
your
really
problems are
said-
insignificant.
No, it's not like he said their problems are. He like went at him like fucking hard, like ruthlessly.
But
in
he
a way
did that-
Kratos did not teach him.
I understand that, but like he's used to seeing Kratos do that, maybe more subdued. Like he's not as aggressive about it. But Atreus is like, I'm a fucking god. I can do what I want. That's what Dad does. And then he just goes overboard with it because he's a kid.
That was my biggest like section of the game where I wasn't into it that much. I was just like, you're just acting like an asshole for like. I understand the narrative like significance of it. I just felt like it was like unearned to a certain
I
degree.
thought it was great.
But my favorite part of that section is like to emphasize that even when you're in combat, like when you do
just
the
won't listen to
arrows,
you.
he doesn't listen to you. That
That was
part was
cool
really
as
cool.
fuck.
Now, like from a
Yeah.
mechanical
summoning,
standpoint, that
like-
was really cool.
It was like summoning wolves for no reason.
You would try to do it, and it
enjoyed
wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
I thought that was really cool. Overall, I thought the relationship was cool. I really liked the growth, like you were saying, in Atreus a lot more than I did in Kratos.
The
Because
part
like,
where he's like, I thought you didn't like my tone at the end of a fight. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck you.
Yeah.
I shaded him for that, but I was like, I love this too. It's like perfect.
but I was gonna say, like with Kratos, I feel like whereas in Atreus we saw like a coming of age kind of like
Yeah.
thing of him like understanding his responsibility in the world. We saw Kratos a little bit like kind of understand like like grapple with his violent past and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But like still by the end of the game, he's still like kind of like a dick
Yeah.
and like.
Of course he is.
He's
He's
never gonna not be a
He's
dick.
not
yeah.
gonna change that much.
I feel like the main crux of the game was supposed to be him learning to be a good father and like open up emotionally to his son.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the game, like he still all he does is tap on the shoulder.
And actually-
Like, it's not like
Boy, read this.
About
would've
that-
been
that's a
bigger
big thing for
asshole
him.
Than Atreus being an asshole for him.
no, just give the fucking kid a hug, dude. Like I hate your
He calls
fucking.
him his son.
He also like grabs him by the
That was-
head and
that's
is
like-
like,
Not that big a deal.
It
Well,
is.
also,
It's
also
like-
you
What's
know,
it
you know,
called?
like
Yeah,
you watch the
constantly.
recap video, so you know what his past is.
Yeah.
He's had a wife and a kid before, so I think like especially if you killed your own wife and kid, that like getting close to
You're
family
more
again would be
attached.
hard.
Yeah.
that's another reason this game is so fucking good. Is because
Yeah.
like knowing where he's been. You don't have to know that for the game to be good, but like knowing where
That
he's
makes it
been
better,
makes
I think.
everything that happens in this game so much better.
I don't know. I wish it would have gone the step farther to where I could actually see him be a
This
like.
is not going to be the.
That's why, yeah. But
I'm
it's
not
gonna
saying
be,
it is, but
the next one, they'll just be, it'll come out the fucking cabin they're in, and he's like riding on his thing. The trace
Like
is on his
something
back,
like-
just
taking a good
running.
old father-son bath out in the
Like,
fucking.
I wish you could have seen them be like good father and son together more, as opposed
I
to
just
like.
think
The,
Yeah,
I see. I
like
think it was
that's not
paced
gonna
perfectly, and if
happen.
it had happened, it happened too fast. Because it wouldn't have made sense for Kratos to go from like trying to not scream at his
There are
son for
so
missing a
many-
boar.
There's three
Yeah.
big things that happen in the very last segment that like really drive that home. He lets him carry the ashes.
Mhm.
He calls him his son, and
He says, "This is
He
your
touches
story,"
his
or something like
shoulder
that.
instead of, like,
touches his shoulder. Yeah.
pretending
I mean,
to-
sure, but these are
Yeah,
all
but,
things
like-
that have been built up.
All right,
throughout
I'm
the
not
game.
saying like that's not like I'm not saying Kratos is a shitty father by the end of the game. I would have just liked to have seen him go more into that. Because if my dad, like when we're carrying my mother's ashes to the top of the mountain, if all he did was like let me carry the ashes and called me his son, I'd be like, I could have used the hug,
Here's
bro.
your-
Like
here's
what the
your
fuck?
child.
Childhood of
looking through
neglect,
this-
I feel like that's a big step.
You're looking at this through the wrong lens.
You're like out of context. I feel like.
Also,
How am I out of context?
also, your complaint with the game is that Atreus takes his transition too far, so now you wanting to see Kratos go even
that's
further.
the joke I
But like,
just made.
but like Kratos, like he comes from where he came from and everything that he's dealt with, and then like I said, like not wanting to get attached to him, and like you can't like that's his kid, like he can't help but like have those feelings for him, and like especially seeing the emotion and like the distress. I remember like two scenes specifically when he loses him in the fog. Like that was pretty early on, but still he was like flipping the fuck out. He's like, "Boy, where are you?"
But
and
that's
then
what I'm saying.
when he's sick, like he realizes as much as he wants to not bring Atreus into his past, and like he has to go back because that's the only way he can get the thing. to
Every
save him.
time Atreus is in danger and he has to use the Spartan Rage to save him,
Yeah.
that's a turn for the worse for Kratos because the whole game is about controlling your anger,
Mhm.
like balance, like be better, and like every time shit hits the fan, Kratos is like fuck it and just murders everybody.
Yeah, but it's always about like Atreus's like safety, nothing to do
And
with
that,
himself.
I guess that's like, I don't know, it's not like huge. I still love the game, like
Yeah.
like, but this is like nitpicks I have with it is just like, I wish like that's not the only way he showed love for his kid was when his kid was like missing or his kid was sick. I wish just when they were like hanging out together, he could just like be like,
He literally
like
They
caring.
show that though.
I don't feel like it
Him
does.
telling stories
Yeah.
at
Telling
all,
stories.
especially
He
to
tells
Atreus.
like 2
He
stories.
tells
the whole
like
game.
7.
And they all suck. That's what
Well,
I'm
the
saying.
first ones
That's the
are
point,
awful,
like,
and
I don't
by the
understand what
end,
you're-
like, he has a good story.
It's not whoosh.
It's whoosh, absolutely.
It really isn't. I feel like they don't do a good job of
It's
Caroline.
Yeah, because
like
all the
I
way
don't like him as a dad. I'm viewing this game not as like, oh, a dad looking at the son. I'm viewing it as the son looking at their dad, and like I wouldn't want Kratos to be my dad even at the end of the game.
You're right, but for like who Kratos is at the beginning and in his past, like for him to get to where he is at the end of this game is
You guys
such
keep saying
a
that, but like
because
I,
it's important.
It's a series.
Yeah, you have to
It's
have
a
the
series that like
context.
if you don't know like the past and everything.
I
like,
do.
it makes-
I watched the fucking recap.
Well, yeah,
That's
I
why
understand.
I fucking have never
I
heard of any
understand.
of
So
this
then, like,
before.
if you know that, then you would understand like the character growth in this game is like significant for Kratos.
I don't. But that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. Is like I don't feel like it's significant.
And honestly,
in a real
Kratos
way.
could be my dad because like he secretly loves his son,
It sounds
and
like-
it'd be cool.
You want a Lifetime movie, and that's
It's
not.
not what I. No, I just want him to show affection. I don't know why that's like.
He
so
wants him to
shitty.
kiss him on
he
the
does
head.
in
and, like,
his in a Kratos.
And his way is shitty, is what I'm saying.
You're not wrong. That's his character, though. Like
But
your
that-
problem is with Kratos inherently. I feel like.
But alright, so like when what?
You guys are like
Peaks.
so loud.
Oh.
I just see the audio.
It's because I'm dead middle between these.
But when alright, so Barlog
Balrog.
put out
Balrog.
that video of him like
I'm
crying at the
freezing.
Metacritic. Are you really cold?
Yeah, I'm
I
shivering.
told you, man.
I'm also
You
very
wear a jacket,
I'm
but
running
you-
hot today.
Yeah, it's hot as shit in here.
I'm
Uh,
snug
my
up.
legs are cold. but I'm good.
He put that out as he was like trying to show his son like
Yes.
it's not like bad to show emotion.
Yeah.
Or it's not like you can cry. You feel free to cry in front of people. It's not like and like I didn't feel like Kratos gave me that in like a real
Because
significant
Kratos as a
way.
character has to be reined in so far.
You also have to think about the world they're in. Like you wouldn't. I don't.
It's not like I don't give a fuck what world they're in. I want it to be like I want it to be relatable. And it didn't feel
That
relatable.
is just.
That's
disagree
ignorant.
so
It was
strongly.
You
so
can't say
incredibly
that.
relatable. Like I don't.
Yeah, I feel like it all made sense.
I really don't. You felt like you related to like Kratos as a
Yes.
dad in this game.
Not
Hell
as a dad.
dude,
I related
I'm a
to
real
maybe the
fucking
kid.
dad.
Is,
I
like,
relate. I relate. I'm a real dad.
I don't like. No, I'm saying like.
And from now, ever since I played that game, every time I see Roman,
don't raise
I
your
just,
kid like Kratos.
No, every time I see him, I'm like, boy,
Also, not
come
raising
get
my
this
kid in a
waffle.
brutal Norse fucking
You also have to
wildland.
remember that they are literally both gods, and the life of a god in this universe is absolutely brutal and hellish and awful. And so
That's-
he's just.
Wait,
doing
that's
what
like
he
a,
knows.
we
Well,
want
it's
to
just
see
like
their
the
humanity in
universe.
people.
Why the story is the way that it is.
Like the subtle ways that he shows his son that he loves him are more than enough, and I don't know why you can't like.
I would hate it if my dad only showed me
Too
love
bad,
by
it's
tapping me on the
Not
shoulder.
supposed to be like human.
He's not a traditional
But that's why I'm saying.
father.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't feel like he's a good dad,
He's not. The journey is about him
But you
learning
guys
to
are-
be a good dad.
and he doesn't complete it. Is what I'm saying.
The series
You're
also
wrong.
probably
I
not over.
absolutely disagree
Yeah.
so much. I can't. Like okay. So the thing is, like all of the like. Oh fuck! I'm so fucking mad. I can't even think straight. The from the beginning of the game and their interactions to the end, I really think this game would benefit like one more playthrough just to like really have a scope on like the character growth of these two people and coming of age and things. But the way that they talk to each other and the way that Atreus is like so timid around his dad and like is really
He's scared of his dad.
Ballsy later.
yeah,
though.
of course he's afraid of his dad's
Like his dad
rage.
isn't abusive. Like not abusive
Holy
to
shit.
him, but like a
Oh, this is-
violent person. Like
Yes.
Okay.
You're right. He was a fucking Spartan who became
So,
the god
I
of war.
wasn't like I was
No,
like why are you
I
being
just-
condescending? I was agreeing with you.
So, but to see him go from showing almost nothing to each other to Atreus, becoming more of a like, kid in wonderment and like, seeing this big adventure and kind of speaking his mind, and then Kratos learning about him through those, little, dialogues, and then to see Kratos kind of start reciprocating that, like around the midway point in his little shitty stories that he's telling, Atreus being like, well, that's not exactly how it goes, but whatever, I get it.
He even lets out like a little bit of a laugh
Yeah,
at one point.
yeah, it
like
was beautiful. And Kratos being like taking.
You guys are just taking whatever Kratos gives you. If Kratos like
Because
that's
he
the
scratches
does
the
nothing.
scratches.
I'm
That's the
legitimately
beginning,
like getting
that's the
pissed.
point.
Like you're
Like-
so wrong. It hurts.
He
It's
doesn't need to be like
That's
an
like saying-
emotional like dad.
That's not who he fucking
how
is.
this
Now-
And, like,
now,
that's
see,
shitty to
At
be
the
a
end
dad
of the game,
like
at
that.
the end of the game, if Kratos would have let him carry the ashes,
I think somebody
gave him
just
a
didn't
hug,
hug you enough.
and
as a
then
kid.
No, my
hugged
dad
him.
hugged me too much apparently because I don't get by on my dad just touching my shoulder and like he's the best person in the world. You have to do
I
more for
never
me than
said
that, dude.
No,
You
I-
gotta suck the balls too, dude. I'm just saying.
But it's not. No one said that he's the best dad. And the series
But
is
you guys are all
over.
commending him for his growth as a father. Is what I'm
Because
saying.
there was so much growth.
He didn't grow at all. He barely grew at all. Is what I'm saying.
How are you like this?
So anyways, let me finish this. So what you're saying is, so what you're
That's
saying.
what I'm saying.
So if at the end he would have let him carry the ashes, gave him a hug, and then we look up, last shot is Kratos, tears
Kiss
running
him
down
with
his eyes.
tongue.
You know, and he would have been like, I commend this
Did the
game.
Tom Brady
Kratos has
kiss?
grown. He is a good
I was
father
gonna
now.
make the joke. I didn't know if you guys would get it.
But
Like that's like saying the Iron Giant
Spider-Man
is a bad
he flips him
character.
over.
The Iron Giant is a bad character because he doesn't shed real, actual human.
The
tears.
Iron Giant is a robot. You're comparing a man to a robot.
Kratos is a fucking.
God that has had a life full of hell.
From birth, he was trained to murder people.
Yeah, so I
not
guess
to
he's
love
kind of a
or care
robot.
about
He's
anything.
not a robot though. He understands human emotions.
Barely.
Yeah,
Literally
Do
barely.
you remember how in the very end he literally says the life of a Spartan is just fighting and like?
Did you not
Training
see that whole
constantly.
scene?
Coming to
Why is it when I have a disagreement? Did I even play the game? Like
Because
fuck
you're
off. Yes,
so
I played the game.
wrong.
Because there's like an objective truth to this, and I feel like you're just.
It's not
missing.
objective. I'm subjectively taking away what my
Okay,
interpretation was.
but- It like okay, there's just four things because the story about Atreus' name is also a really important moment.
Yes,
Kratos
that
has
was
with him.
that was awesome.
Okay,
I want to come back to that. Don't forget about that.
why is that?
Why
not
are we so hung up? Why can't I just have a fucking disagreement without everybody like
You're-
fucking?
Well,
Because we
because
want
we
you
all
to-
disagree.
yeah.
That's
Do you
the
feel
only-
wrong?
No, because like
Is there something inside you saying maybe I shouldn't be this wrong?
Let's
I'm
move on.
not.
Let's move on.
Yeah, all right.
All right, but
Uh,
about the Atreus thing, fucking, or at least the Loki thing. So I initially did not like the Loki twist.
I was like, eh.
It kind of,
It was
in my
cool.
opinion,
I
was
don't actually-
reductive
I'm
to like
spoiled
Atreus'
on it, so I was
character.
like,
Did you really?
Yeah.
like in a Twitter comment that I
That's
saw.
a fucking bummer.
It was
Yeah.
I almost got the blade
literally.
spoiled
Here's
for me.
what happened. Somebody posted a shitty comic about Atreus like making a joke to Kratos. It's like up dog and him not getting it.
Yeah.
And then someone in the comments was like, "He's a real trickster." I was like, "Wow, I'm not a fucking dunce. You're an asshole." Everybody in
I
the
know,
comments was
like-
like, "He's like, I didn't say it," and it's like, okay, but we also
See, I
middle
wouldn't have
school
caught that.
with
I mean, to be fair, they don't really cover
Oh, I
Norse
was-
mythology in middle school,
mad.
but like, I understand where you
I
would have
felt
got.
like I
I
liked
did
it.
like that they backed away. Like they immediately, he didn't like his power was like a bow, not like that he was able to fucking like disappear and be a trickster.
Well,
and
they
stuff like that.
apparently put in a lot of little nods
They
to
did.
that.
Yeah.
But
And
I,
like the mistletoe was like that's a thing in Norse
Yeah.
mythology.
I
where
liked
that,
it
that
more-
is, Baldur's weakness.
knowing that. though.
We don't talk about a bad parent. Freya's a fucking bad parent. Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah.
She's
All right, cool. We all agree that she's a bad parent. I don't have to
I
Yeah.
fucking.
don't know that there was an argument. Freya was
Alright,
awesome.
cool.
though.
I think
I
Freya-
I
She
like
was cool,
Freya.
but she was a shitty fucking mom.
but I love her.
I think she's a bad person.
See, but that's almost. I don't want to get on a tangent, but
It's too far the
that's
other
too
way.
far the other way, right?
No
Yeah.
one reaches the happy middle, is what I'm saying.
We haven't
no one
seen
is
everybody
supported.
yet.
But Kratos is trying. He's.
I'm not saying he's.
I don't want to go down this road
You
again.
just have to look at it relatively.
I just have to look at it how you view it.
Here's like the point of
Correct.
normalcy for like a dad, and like Kratos is like way over here, and for him even to come like a little bit.
That doesn't like
It's like-
excuse your being a shitty dad. I
it
feel like.
doesn't,
But
but
he
it's
didn't say that he's a
it's
good
fine.
Yeah.
dad.
We're off it. We're off it.
Alright, anyway, Mimir was awesome.
Mimir, yeah.
The conversation in the game system in this game, where you're in the boat and then you like get out of the boat and come back and you're like, "What was I talking about, boy?" and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That shit
I
was
had to
fucking.
just
I
sit
almost
amazing.
didn't even experience that because like when he was telling a story, I just rode in a circle
Stopped,
until he was
yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was fucking fantastic.
I like that you just keep him. For like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that he just
No,
starts
even
telling
after.
you random things instead of like in other games where you like pick up notes that you're never going to.
Oh,
read.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
There's
he
that
just- he
too,
just
but-
tells
Like
you
in theory, like a whole book of lore is really cool, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking read that.
No,
I'll read a
right.
paragraph and I'm done.
I'm gonna buy Norse mythology. by
I actually
Neil
thought
Gaiman.
about it, yeah.
I
Yeah.
had it in my Amazon
Norse
cart.
mythology's cool. I was happy. Like
Also-
I knew a little bit about it, so like some of the stuff that
It's
they
better
put
than
in
Greek
was like.
mythology.
Yeah, that's also like I feel like most of our exposure to Norse mythology is through the Marvel movies or like some other like small
Hellblade.
like
Yeah.
things like that. Whereas like Greek mythology, you are taught that in school, and it's a lot more interesting to hear fucking about mythology like from a severed head in the boat of an action game
Yeah.
Yeah.
than to hear about aqueducts from your fucking 7th grade teacher. Like
Absolutely.
is
point.
way like cooler. So like I felt like that was super well done the way they laid out their
Dude, what if
version
in
of
like 20 years they
Norse
change?
canon.
Well, in like 5 years they change American education to be like all Norse mythology, and they're like, homework, go play God of War.
God of War. Yeah, you need to check that out.
Like go watch Hercules by Disney.
I thought the world like encompassed that very well and
Yeah.
like was
Oh, yeah.
super
Yeah,
well
Mimir
done.
was fucking awesome. I actually really liked Baldur too as like a character.
I thought the
Baldur was
performance-
fucking
Whoever
awesome.
played him had like the
Daniel
Captain
Faraday.
Jack Sparrow thing, and it was just
Was it?
Yeah.
Who did?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
That
He
guy's
nailed it.
He's in some other movies. He's also in Saving Private Ryan.
He played
He's
Charles
the-
Manson
the
in like
medic
a...
guy.
I've actually never
Never
seen that
seen
film.
Oh, you should check it out. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. He's also in Lost too.
The dwarves
Who is
were
it?
fucking great too.
Yeah, I
He's
like
Daniel
the dwarves.
Faraday. He's like the scientist.
Yeah, the guy that does all the
Oh,
bullshit
Just
time
two
travel
that's
seasons.
stuff.
not his real name. I was
He didn't
like,
come
I
until
remember
season
it was a
4.
different name.
No. Yeah, he's on like season 4. He's part of the second
three.
people that
I think
come.
it's 3.
Baldur
That are
is
Charles
a-
Whitmore's people.
He was a fantastic character, a great performance.
Great performance. He wasn't a fantastic character.
Cool
No, he was awesome.
I thought he was a great character.
But he
Not
was a
like-
cool character. He wasn't a good. That's what I'm saying. He wasn't a good person.
No.
I thought that's what you were
No.
saying. You're like, I thought you were like, I related to him.
No,
I was like, not
He's a
really.
fantastic
Dude, that
character.
first fight with Baldur, the last
The
fight with
last
Baldur.
one
Speaking
where
of
you had to,
growth,
like, switch like between the fire and the ice.
right?
like,
And Atreus, like,
counter
he's like a little timid little shit in the beginning, and he's
Yeah.
like, he only fires when
Sniping
ordered
in
to,
the fucking
and he
mouth.
beats the absolute fuck.
Yeah,
He
this
kind
guy?
of looks like Baldur.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, I've
like
seen
Jeremy
it.
Davies.
Atreus like beats the shit out of Baldur during that fight, dude. He
Oh,
like
yeah.
is jumping in there.
Dude, the like when you kill him at the end when he shoots the arrows down
God.
that far as fucking
That
rifle.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking fight.
Freya sucks though.
Freya sucks.
That was a what not like a takeaway, but like she's the only female character like in the whole game, and like she kind of sucks.
Nah,
That was a bummer.
She was great.
She is.
her character was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, she was like
Maybe
What
it- maybe it
Bond
was
with
the-
Atreus was amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe it was also a good way to contrast Kratos.
I did think that. Yeah.
As the parent at the table, I've heard that people relate more strongly to Freya just being a total psycho after you kill Baldur. If you are a parent,
if
how-
you kill
how-
your kid,
do you-
No, I'm 100%. I'm like,
you're Kratos. You're
I'm
like
more
go fucking
Kratos.
bump
Like
your head.
I'm like 20% more progression on that fatherhood scale. Like I've inched 20%
You're not
closer.
you're not afraid to pat him on the head.
Yeah, no. That's what I told Cheyenne. I said ever since playing that game, I was like, you know what, boy's a good thing. I look at him and say, boy, get your cup. And then I said, boy, let me read to you because he can't read.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
are you,
so-
in the camp? Are you in the camp?
Boy,
that
eat
thinks
these
that
gummies.
Freya being like, I'm gonna like scatter you to the fucking winds is like an overreaction, or do you think she's justified? in her
No,
rage?
I think she feels that way because like Baldur was her kid,
Yeah.
and like
knows
that's
he's a
really
piece
all
of
she
shit.
had left. Like
Literally
she
did
couldn't.
everything she could.
She
to
put a
make
spell
sure
on him
he
so
Yeah,
he
didn't
because she
die.
could, like
get
she
hurt,
can't
like,
go
get the fuck
anywhere.
outta
She
here.
can't go back home. Like she tells you all that stuff, and like the only thing that she had in her life really that was any kind of even as scary as Baldur was, and like
Yeah.
trying to kill and all that, like that's all she had. So like I could relate in that sense, but I think she was like, I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, I'd be really sad if my son died, but I don't think I would like go trying to murder
It's
somebody.
actually
Right.
funny because in actual.
To be, oh sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say in actual Norse mythology, it wasn't a spell that she cast. She actually made everything
She
in
made
the world
every like
thing.
thing.
promise not to hurt
promise.
Baldur, and Mistletoe was like, "I don't have to do that. I'm not gonna fucking
Yeah,
hurt
like,
anybody."
just
Mistletoe?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
fuck
And he was
this.
like, I was just like, whatever.
And that's why those mistletoe like
Yeah.
arrows
Mhm.
that
Oops.
Atreus had.
But you're saying she didn't have anything. She had the cool fucking turtle house, dude.
That's
And
right.
that was
That was probably
underrated.
one of
That was
the
like my
most
favorite
beautiful
part.
fucking scenes I've seen in a
That
game
shit
in
was
a while.
awesome.
Yeah.
This game has such a good sense of scale.
Yeah. it
Also-
does.
Things that are big
Or big.
look really fucking big, and
Yeah.
that's just really not something you see very often. Go ahead. Sorry.
One of my favorite things about the game as a whole is the way that like even the narrative themes even have a presence in the combat. Like the whole control and balance thing, like with the Leviathan axe in the beginning, like Kratos' attacks are really slow and deliberate and methodical. But when you get the chain blades, it's like back to old Kratos, time to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like in the end of the game, me personally, like Baldur's an asshole. Like you're just by that time you're done with this guy. He kicked you out of the World Serpent. Like fuck Baldur, you know. And then you're fighting Baldur, and like you can hear Freya in the background just like screaming,
Yeah.
like please stop, Atreus, please make your father stop. Like she's even like begging this kid
Mhm.
to stop his dad. And it's like me as the player, like I felt bad for her, but at that point I was so ready to beat the shit out of Baldur.
Yeah.
That
I
like
did that
even
well.
Kratos' like like anger kind of plays into the like combat. It's like everything in that game was so deliberate and well placed that it
Without being exploitative of the player's emotions, you never
But-
felt like I was being like tugged along.
right, and it even made me feel like my emotions like sort of started to coincide with what I was supposed to be feeling as Kratos or as
Yeah.
Atreus, and like
Yeah.
especially during the fight with Baldur, like I felt bad for Freya, but I wanted him to die so badly that I just didn't care, and I was like beating the
It's
shit out
rare
of
for a
him.
game like that to. I mean, The Last of Us does that pretty well, but there are even moments in that game that are kind of like obvious or kind of like, I get it. You want me to feel this way, and it's like, cool, and some of them don't feel quite as earned. I think God of War does a good job of balancing.
It made me genuinely feel the things I was supposed to be feeling.
Without going over the top and being like, "Are you weeping now? Like, are you crying your eyes out?" Like The Last of Us obviously is like.
I don't know. I feel like Last of Us, I like more. The like parental relationship.
I didn't even mean in that sense. Like that's obviously.
Stop bringing that shit up. We're done with it.
He brought it up.
I didn't
No, he
even
didn't.
tie it in like that. I didn't mean it.
No,
like
I
that.
I wasn't yelling at you.
As a game, as an
Like,
emotionally.
it's
Yeah, I think The
very
Last of Us
obvious.
more as a game too.
I
but.
thought you meant like it's very obvious that you're supposed to feel something when you see those big giraffes. And
Oh, and you said
Ah.
you said the what'd you say, the parental relationship in The Last of Us? He fucking lies to her the entire time. He's also a
I'm
piece
not
of
saying
shit.
Joel's a
Bad
good guy.
bad fake father.
I'm
We're
not saying Joel's a good guy. No, but you.
Oh,
that-
your
see,
your
that's
arguments.
The point I have.
You
You guys
lose.
aren't saying he's great, but you are all like he made these leaps and
He
bounds.
did.
Okay,
Yeah, I
but
don't
so
think
so
he
you
did.
preferred the game where
I'm
you
sorry.
preferred the game where you saw Joel be regressive and go from being a good father to his kid who died to being a liar to protect this girl.
But what I'm
Last of
saying,
Us spoiler cast now.
yeah, Last of Us will
Again,
but
it came
that's
out
what I'm
forever
saying.
ago.
Like the relationship to everybody to The Last of Us isn't the takeaway from The Last of Us. Isn't everybody's like Joel's a great guy. Like whereas in this
Nobody's
game,
saying that to
everybody
Kratos.
is saying Kratos is a cool dad.
Okay,
No,
let me.
in the
Okay,
game, everyone is saying you have to do these things. You're fucking up your relationship with your son.
I'm just saying that is.
no one
I
said
wish
he's a
right
cool
now
dad.
I could like show
No
you
one said
clips.
it's a cool dad. Someone said just he's getting there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
And
good
I-
progression on his
Everyone
part.
in the game narratively is like, Kratos, what the fuck are you doing? You have to tell your son the truth. Why are you hiding everything from him? Why are you like this?
Because he was
Like,
fucking terrified.
Nobody's calling him a good dad.
Yeah.
Not even.
You
now.
got-
I also
At
like
the
the way
end-
he breaks the stuff to Atreus. They're like, you gotta tell him. You're like, boy.
Come here.
I'm
Yeah,
a
at the
god.
end, he was just done, dude. He
Yeah,
was
he's just like, you know what? You're right. I'm just gonna tell him right to his face.
Unrelated to that, the whole like family dynamics in this game are also really cool. Like I thought that was a big theme in the game where you have Kratos and Atreus, obviously, you have Freya and Baldur, obviously, but then also like the brother relationship between Sindri and Brock is really cool.
Talk about unearned. Them reuniting was unearned. That might be my only narrative.
that was really cool. I totally like.
They had like no interaction, and all of a sudden they're together and they're just doing stuff together.
I actually don't remember how they ended up.
He
They're
like
like,
he
I have
bring.
to make this thing, and then Sindri just shows up, and they're like, okay.
I think that's when you bring him.
Yeah.
To change
I,
I
don't, see,
liked-
I think they reunited for the sake of Kratos and Atreus
Yeah.
more than themselves, and then they realized that they can still work together.
I just
Yes.
really
And
like
part
the
of that was
character.
because of Atreus, I think. Like
Yeah.
his impact
Of
on the both
course.
of them separately made them realize like, why are we being fucking bitches?
Mhm.
Like,
The thing we haven't touched on that I want to touch on real quick. The fact that this game is all in one shot is fucking incredible. How is that even possible? Like it's insane.
Load screens that you can't.
Yeah.
like the
Obviously, like, there's,
Like I mean, I
little-
understand. Like I was being facetious, but like
well hidden load screen.
yeah, like
Yeah,
and,
Like, every
like
time I was
the
like, this is
appearance of like just seamlessness.
yeah, it's very.
There's actually a funny like GameSpot interview with Corey Barlog where he was talking about like Hellblade coming out, and
yeah,
'cause it's
Hellblade's
so-
all one shot too. Basically.
And he was like,
But I mean, it's
Hell,
like
they were
5 hours.
developing God of War when Hellblade was coming out,
yeah.
so he like was seeing the things that Hellblade was doing and was like, what the fuck, guys? Like, who's telling them what we're doing?
Yeah.
Because like Mimir was like, whatever. She's
Yeah.
got the fucking her
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
husband's
Her
head on her
husband,
belt, yeah.
Ah,
Because
does she really?
originally, yeah,
Did I
it's
not
like in a
notice
sack
that?
on her back.
I
yeah.
never. I guess that's true. Yeah, I didn't even. Put that
And
together.
fucking originally Mimir was like he wasn't gonna be like an exposed dangling head. It was gonna be
Uh-huh.
like in a fucking magic fanny pack that
Okay.
Kratos had.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, let's try to do something different, I guess.
They were like, "Let's make him FMV," and they're like, "Oh fuck, they took this
Yeah.
too."
Well, and that he was actually talking about how like that was actually a blessing in disguise because like Mimir being a head that you can see and like and engage with is way better than just being a fucking sack on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, Mimir was honestly my favorite character.
He ended up being the kid's like weird uncle at the end.
Yeah,
dude.
it was
Yeah.
fucking rad. I really thought it was gonna when you get swallowed up by the world serpent. I was gonna like be a Gears of War 2 or 3 moment.
The
Where
fight
I
your
thought,
way out.
I thought Mimir was like gonna fucking get killed like in that part. I was like,
no.
oh no, that's how they're gonna do it.
I thought he was gonna be dead when you were in that temple and like or like held
you
up
had
by
to
those
shoot him in the
vines.
eye. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Using
I get it's not like it's a small nitpick. The like back half of the game is just you going after MacGuffin for like 4 straight times. Like
Yeah.
like you're like, all right, we have to get the chisel. All right, we have to get the eye.
Yeah.
All right, we have to get the heart from the fucking dude at hell to save.
Yeah.
It's like 4 straight times they do that.
Yeah.
Where like I don't know.
I didn't mind though because it was like I was exploring these different.
I didn't
areas
mind.
and-
I understand like. Not in a normal game, but in another game, I would have a problem with that. But I love the combat in this game so
like the-
much.
Well, and the
I didn't have a problem
MacGuffins
with
were
it.
all well connected. Like,
yeah,
they
I thought
all
the
made narrative sense.
like I picked up on it too. Like, yes, I realized that it's just like every time I could make progression, oh, I got to get something else. But like, I thought the way that they worked it in, and then like even going and getting the chisel, fucking like climbing up that giant and breaking those chains off his braids and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
They make each one an adventure, but
Yeah.
it is like the second you open Jotunheim, it's like you just get smashed, and I was like, God, fuck.
Yeah.
What's I can't remember their names. They were. Did you know they're played by Troy Baker and Nolan North?
The dwarves?
No, not the dwarves.
oh, this would be
I was
damn,
like,
that's
what?
impressive.
No, but
brothers,
the
the
two
fight-
brothers
fight-
you fight, the gods.
I don't
Oh,
Oh,
Magni
really?
and Modi?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
them. I thought their boss
The
fight was
two
really cool.
memeiest voice actors of all
I
time.
thought that boss fight, a little bit nitpicky kind of thing, was underwhelming after the Baldur fight in the beginning.
Yeah, I can see that.
I thought it was still good. I didn't like how they reused the one part in the second Baldur fight, like the last Baldur fight,
with
where the shield or
yeah.
whatever. That was kind of.
I like the back-to-back thing.
Where,
I liked
like,
it better
where
in
they're
the Baldur
back to
fight.
back,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
you're
have to wait till he comes and then
Oh,
block.
that
I was
was
like,
fine.
I didn't
Yeah,
like that they
you introduced
reused
this
that, but like,
I liked it because it like after their like turmoil before, it kind of showed them coming back together as like a unit and like
Yeah.
learning how to fight together.
Whatever. The
Yeah.
Magni and Modi fight was fun. It was like Bernstein and Smell.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
I thought it was
The
easy.
combat in this game
It wasn't
is
hard.
100 times better than any Soulsborne game. Facts.
Except
I
for the
don't-
Valkyries.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's absolute. Not the level design and the enemy design, but the combat mechanics in this game are better.
I don't know. Maybe it is true.
Then
I
Dark
That's
Souls
coming
and
from,
Bloodborne.
that's,
with
Coming
the
from
axe
a fan
and
of those games.
from someone wearing a fucking
Literally,
Bloodborne
I'm
shirt.
Wearing a Bloodborne
less
shirt.
Yeah.
less
Which I
diverse
love.
because you only have two like.
Yeah,
weapons.
okay.
the
That's
fucking
just-
hair flip.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not as. It's deeper in the few things. There's no build variety or anything. Like there is in God of War, but it's not really comparable. But the feel of it and the weight of it and everything is
Yeah, I thought the combat was
better.
really weighted.
But yeah, there's not like a bunch of weapons that you can.
What did we
choose.
think of the leveling system, like aping fucking Destiny?
I
Where
didn't
like
like that.
I thought that was weird. It was
I didn't
fine
mind
by
it.
the end of it. I just thought it was weird that like your level was determined by your gear.
I
I
didn't
thought
like
that
it
was
because
weird.
I
I
was
don't
like,
know that it changes anything. Like it's not.
I just thought it was weird.
absolutely being the level of an enemy made it easier than being under their level.
Yeah.
Like
I guess.
there's got to be some hidden stats tied to that because I was like popping on gear that I thought was worse that boosted my level and ended up being easier, and I was like, okay, I don't know what's happening.
Mhm.
More stats is just better, so
Yeah.
it was fine. I ended up getting a lot of the really good gear from what's that place called?
Muscle.
The roguelite.
Niflheim.
There's a shitty part of this fucking game.
Niflheim.
Niflheim sucks ass.
I did not care for Niflheim.
Niflheim
either.
can go to fucking.
Me and you
Nice.
did only mainline the game.
That's the
Yeah.
other thing.
Shit.
So
It's got real good
something I want to touch on just real quick with like DLC and things like that. So every
There
time
isn't gonna be any.
I know, and that's part of what I want to talk about is like he went on record saying there's not going to be DLC, but frankly there doesn't need to be because the things that could have been DLC are already in the fucking game. Like Muspelheim, Niflheim didn't need to be in the game, and they're fully fleshed out, like almost not mini
Challenge
games, but
areas.
like
Yeah,
challenge
yeah.
areas that in most games in today's like environment would have been DLC. Like he could have easily left those out and introduced them later as DLC, but everything is in the game and functions well. There's no need for DLC because the game is just so well put together.
Yeah.
No, I
One
completely.
last thing on the combat, there are some cracks that I saw. Like the Valkyrie fights, a couple of them
Yeah, there's-
have. I mean, the dive attack, Aaron, you were talking to me about in text, the thing where they stomp on your face.
No, my complaint. I'm not saying that's like a broken attack. My
Oh.
complaint with that attack is that you can't use a resurrection stone.
Oh.
It
oh.
literally breaks the fucking animation when you die, so you can't use a
Oh, that
resurrection stone.
sucks.
So say you're about to beat that fight, and because she's behind you and you don't get the warning that she's about to do that attack, so it is kind of broken. She fucking just lands on you and you die.
There is a thrust attack that they do. A couple of them do, and you have to either get lucky and dodge early without knowing that it's coming out,
Mhm.
or you're just gonna take damage. There's probably like 8 frames between it coming out and it hitting you,
Yeah.
and that is just not a reaction time that a human.
And
being
sometimes
can
it happens immediately after another attack that you're still kind of recovering
Yeah.
from. So it's like,
Like a couple
And
of them
then-
are just guaranteed damage attacks.
Yeah,
and I'm
there was
just
that
like-
one that like was a big like
Actually, you can just
poof
shoot
that
her.
she
You can
does
just shoot
where
her
like
down.
you can't.
Yeah, you
I
get
just
the-
throw the axe at her. I
Okay.
didn't. I
Well,
was
you
dumb.
That's
were
why I
saying
played
that,
the
like,
axe.
you couldn't.
You
Like, you
can't
have to
unless
take
you hit her
damage
with
by
the
that.
axe, so that was just me being stupid. But yeah, I mean the Valkyrie fights are a lot of fun though. They're definitely.
some are better than others.
Yeah, I'm about to fight the Queen Valkyrie. I'm like not excited. Have you done it?
Yeah, good fucking luck, dude. Because like, whatever. I don't want to spoil it. I don't know if you care if I tell you the.
That's
She just has all of the
yeah.
abilities, right?
Yeah,
The-
and they happen to, with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Damn. Does she summon ads and shit too, like with her fucking.
And, at least that didn't happen to me. But again, it's like
Oh,
there's no
man.
fucking pattern to the attacks. So
God damn
The
it.
the thing I will say, I normally hate this in game, It's just everything I hate in games about like the way they force you to use combat. I just loved in this game so much because I loved the combat. Like it was awesome. So good. Like at the end of the games, usually they do the thing where you're in a hallway and then it just throws all the enemies you've ever fought at you.
Yes.
When they do that in this game, like in that elevator, I thought it was so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like so, I was like, damn, dude. Even this game when it does that shit, like I still love. So.
And I love how creative you can be with the way you can chain your different attacks together. It's so
I played the
fun.
game on hard, and I dropped it down to easy for one part. It was the fucking I wanted to do Muspelheim. I wanted to do all of it. There's a challenge where it's like just don't get hit the whole time, and there's like 20 enemies, which doesn't sound that bad. But then they start throwing these like icicle boys at you.
That was a pain in the ass. Yeah.
I just put it on easy. I was like, if you can one shot me, fuck it, I'm gonna one shot you, and I just wiped them up. And I was
there were 3 fights in the game I turned the difficulty down for. One was Sigrun, the last Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
Because fuck her.
Yeah.
And then one was the Ulfheim Valkyrie. Literally turned. Oh, I only turned it down to normal, but like.
Which one is that?
I don't remember her name, but it's the one in Ulfheim.
She summon ads. Is she the one
Nah.
that flies?
It was the first one that I fought that did the jump thing,
Oh.
and that like combined with the fucking punch.
Yeah.
Was just a pain in the ass. And then there was the one Muspelheim fight where you're fighting a bunch of dark elves, which are the worst enemy in the game.
Yeah.
Are the Dark Elves the ones from Alfheim?
Howdy doo doo.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, those suck. They were the worst enemies. They're like blinding attack, isn't it?
They just avoid damage for no good reason.
It's the one where like there was one elite dark elf and you
Yes.
couldn't damage him until you killed the other dark elves.
Yes.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I turned the
It's
difficulty
hard
down
to
on that
keep
one.
it up.
Yeah.
The kill them in the Golden Rings one is fucking hard too. I was like, oh.
I got that one after a minute, but I kept using the blades to pull him into the ring.
That's a good idea. It seems like they kept like strafing perfectly around
Yeah.
the ring, and they were like, I'm not going in there.
I would get him
Fuck
down to like almost dead and then just pull him into the ring with the blades.
you.
Are you guys planning on platinum?
Oh,
I
yeah,
am
for sure.
planning on it, yeah. I just the Odin's Ravens is the one thing I'm not looking forward to.
I'm just gonna look them all up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one green one, like green bird, and
So one?
I don't look up very
Me
often.
and Drew are.
We mainline the game. So like I was on the main bridge, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I had the Leviathan action. I saw those like seagulls, and I was like, man, you know what would be cool? I wonder what would happen if I throw this out, and they blew up, and I was like, shit, there's a green one out there. I bet you I get a trophy for that. Not the one. Maybe if you get them all, but
50 more of them.
yeah, I don't hunt the trophies
Guys,
like
man,
I used
did
to.
all the side shit.
Yeah,
so did
I
I.
love the
I-
exploration is so.
I thought the world design was good enough to where it made me feel like I was exploring when I really like wasn't, or like I was exploring like small stuff and it like made me feel accomplished in doing that. Like going back to get the like locked chest or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like
That reminds me of my actual least favorite thing in this game, and it is the way that the ghost men are animated. In that
They are kind of
really
bad.
animated, and they just do this the whole time, and I'm like, wow, that looks
go
like
find
shit.
my
was
wife.
okay, yeah, I didn't care
Why
about
did they
that.
do that?
Yeah.
Just stand still.
Oh, the fucking chains! When you kick the chain down, you have to just fucking.
oh yeah,
lock it
that's,
down.
that's dumb.
Oh, God
that's
damn it.
I mean, it's not like game breaking or
Oh,
anything.
it's
but
annoying,
why?
though.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
There's a
But-
few little nitpicky things.
Little nitpicky things, especially like creative.
Overall, though, I would say.
But
Fuck off.
I really did love the game.
Yeah,
I will
same.
100%
Easily
stand
in
by
my
this
top
game.
5
It's
favorite games of
probably
all time.
it.
It's in my top 10.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I really liked it.
It's the new Inquisition. Like I'm gonna play this game forever.
Has it dethroned Celeste? I feel like that was like
As game of the year?
Yeah.
the de facto. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. You think
I wasn't
so?
even that high on Celeste.
Well, I really
I
liked
liked it.
I think it's like
but
best
yeah.
game of this console generation.
I don't think.
High
That's
praise. I think that's fair, though.
I think it's top
nothing
10,
about
but I
there's
don't-
nothing
Best
about
game
it
of
that
this
like
console generation.
gives it a reason not to be like.
I mean,
its
no,
flaws
it's
are
just-
it's subjective or whatever. But Celeste Hotel level brings it down like a whole peg for me. That fucking level
That's
sucked.
fair. I don't know. This is like neck and neck with Celeste for me. I think for a game.
This is top for me right now. We'll see how Red Dead 2 looks.
Yeah,
It'll be
and there's
fantastic.
a few other things.
I think this game is gonna sweep Game of the Year like Zelda did.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
don't-
Red
I
Dead
don't
is
know.
coming out.
Red Dead, yeah.
I honestly like. There's a small part of me that thinks Red Dead, because
Gonna
of the
suck.
hype it has been getting, is gonna just not flop, but like be extremely underwhelming.
Doubt it.
Yeah.
And if they
GTA
put out like a Metroid game or something.
Do you remember how well GTA 5 reviewed? That's like one of the best reviewed games of all time, and that was hyped to fuck. when
Yeah,
it came
I guess
out.
They have a GTA 4, and that's a fucking
GTA 5 still selling like it's a new fucking game.
Oh my gosh.
Do we want to talk about like the final ending?
Oh yeah,
For,
we can
like,
talk
going
about those.
forward?
Yeah, we can talk about that where Thor comes out. He's like, "What up?"
Yeah, and they keep Mimir like.
I actually never went back to my house, but I got.
Oh, so
spoiled.
basically, you go. You're like, he's like, "Son, sleep," And
And then
then
it says years later.
and
you
then it's
wake
like
up
years later.
looking exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like they just woke up and then it's all.
I slept for 3 years.
I thought that's what it was, but then you walk
And
out
honestly,
and it's Thor
like
with
this
his
Jace
hammer.
looking motherfucker.
He does look like
he looks like
Jace.
Jace, and then he like
That's a good
whips
point.
back his cape, and he's got
He's got
Jason?
Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, that's something I forgot to talk about too. Is like fucking it sets.
What?
The Planeswalker from
from
Magic.
Magic. Jace.
Not
Oh, I
Jason,
thought you
the
said
fucking
Jason. I was like, what?
Jason.
Jones always got the
Jason
Jason
who?
mask
Jason.
on.
Jason. Anyway,
It sets the stage for like so many like possibilities for future God of War games. Like, is it going to be
The
about Ragnarok?
possibility-
Is it
When
gonna be
do I
about the
get to
Aesir
fight
gods?
Thor?
the possibility that the second game will
Freya
be about
is
Thor and
definitely
the
gonna
third
be a
game will
villain, I
about
think.
Odin.
Is like
Yeah.
90 to
That
95%.
possibility.
Well, I
What?
think it's going to be set during like
What'd you say?
Ragnarok though.
I
That'd
said
be sweet.
it was
The
the same thing
last
you
one
said.
might
Like Thor is going to be the next game. And Odin's
Thor,
gonna be
and
the
then
last
'Cause this is-
Odin. We fight Odin during Ragnarok.
Right, when you finish this game, it's Fimbulwinter, which is
one.
like
I thought that was really cool how they
the
like
environment changes.
That was another reason she did that protection spell on Ball,
Yeah.
though, was to stave off
when
Ragnarok.
but like the way like some open world it's not like a terrible thing when they do this. Like when you finish the game, it's like it like comes up on the screen like we've reset everything, so it's not like that.
Yeah.
Whereas in this game, you like go out and they like talk to you about like
Oh, good,
it's getting
yeah.
pretty
There's
cold
even-
out, man.
Yeah, there's
Like,
more dialogue.
Yeah,
too.
I thought that was really cool how they
Yeah.
finished that
I
off.
fucking hate when games do that.
Also,
Yeah.
there's like a
I don't hate it, but like
It's just it's
make
just
up a
so-
narrative reason for that to fucking
Yeah.
happen.
And
Yeah.
the side stuff that you didn't do, like there's actually I'm not like talking shit. That sounded like whatever, but fucking yeah.
Say it.
No, it's stuff you skipped.
Want to wear my blanket some more, you piece of
I
shit?
do. It's cold in here.
It is very cold.
Fucking
Ragnarok's coming. Man.
There's like narrative benefits to doing the exploration.
Yeah.
Like the Valkyries in particular is probably the biggest one.
Yeah, the Valkyries are. I've watched some stuff on it. I see how they would be annoying. But it's not
When
good.
God of War 2 comes out, I'll just watch a recap of everything important in God of War.
Also had to like rush through it for Drew too.
Now he's throwing
I
it
was
on me.
trying to, and then
No,
I
I'm
was
not
like-
throwing it on you.
No,
I'm
it's
just
throwing
saying
it on
like
me.
that's another reason. Like,
I actually got part of the reason, I fought the Valkyries before I beat the game, so like because I wanted to have the Valkyrie armor for like the last leg of the game,
Mhm.
and
Good armor, and it looks cool.
it does look pretty cool, but that was kind of annoying because like the Niflheim armor is like better
Yep.
than the Valkyrie armor. which
also
is-
hated some of the I hated all the armor that wasn't just like here.
I know,
When he would
yeah.
wear a whole like fucking chest plate, I'm like, all right, take this the fuck
I
off.
didn't make any of those
Runic
sense.
It doesn't
rule was
look
so
great.
fucking stupid looking. It was like, okay.
The
I go
Valkyrie
back
one I
and-
almost
I-
didn't use because
I
it
vastly
wasn't the strap.
I like games where you can just take the stats from one armor and put it on a
Transmog?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hate that.
transmog, yeah.
I hate when
I fucking want
kids let me do that.
every game to have that because fashion is more important to me than
The
anything.
fashion and function, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, that's our God of War 2 Spoilercast. I think that was a good
God of War 2?
God of War 2.
God of War 2.
That was our God
It's
of War
actually the 8th
Spoilercast.
game in this.
You just say God of War
You count the
2018
Nokia
Spoilercast.
fucking cell phone.
Yeah,
game,
that's
dude?
what I said. I said like, okay, so I read the article that was written about what Corey had said about the game. It was they took it as 5 more games.
Yeah, everyone misquoted it because they're stupid.
I understand that. I read the article that had misquoted it, right? So I was like looking at it, I was like, damn, 5 more games, like that would drag this shit on too far to where
Yeah.
almost like you could do the, like we had said, Thor, Odin,
And
and
then
then Egypt, and then
Fight
like, there was a
Ra,
fourth one. There was a fourth one, which is like there was the Greek, Norse, then there was Egyptian, and there was one more. I don't know what it was.
I see,
'Cause it was
I'm
like the 4 corners, right?
not ready
Of
for
the-
the
Oh,
good
okay.
use.
Signs of War.
Japanese.
Japanese.
Oh.
So like even then, if you
Ooh.
didn't end it at Norse and you went to Egypt, then what you would expect that you would go to the 4th one, but like that's a really long fucking series.
That's
There has
a
to be at
lot.
least one more Norse game too, because like
I think
There's for sure
I think
gonna
there could
be
be 2 more. I think they could do 2 more Norse games, but I think after that.
To be
like,
fair, how many fucking Marvel movies are there right now? Like,
Movies
being
take up-
long does not not necessarily mean it's going to be like.
yeah,
bad
but
or
I can watch
uninteresting.
half of the Marvel movies.
You can watch
series.
all of the Marvel movies in the time it takes to beat this game.
Again,
Yeah.
that's fucking incredible to me that they took God of War, this game about an angry man who kills things, and turned it into what it is now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but less
impressed. Don't get me
angry,
wrong. I
it
just
still does
I don't.
the exact same things. It
but,
doesn't grow
like-
that much. But
I don't know how
That's- you're
long this
so
the series
like,
could
I'm-
go on after like a Norse mythology. So there could be
I'd
something.
be
that-
interested. They have the pots and plates or whatever, the part where they're talking about.
The part where he was drinking the wine, he
Yeah,
said,
that we want to talk about the like growth part that you guys didn't mention is when he gives his son like the drink of wine. That was
Yeah.
like the coolest part.
just
Anyway.
mentioned it.
That was you were talking about a bad father. What is this?
Anyway, that's our God of War Spoilercast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is episode 52 of the Current Gaming Podcast. My name is Charles Lee. You can find me on Twitter at Charles Tula. Find us on Twitter at currentgaming_. We got a whole slate of shows for you this week. It's real fun. We're gonna be starting doing stuff more with this channel. Drew, where can everybody find you?
On Twitter at Trophy Pops.
Cool. And Aaron?
Twitter at Aaron M. Weeks.
And you guys can see your shows what days?
Tuesday and Thursdays, 10 a.m.
Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. You can see mine on Friday. Where are you at, Cheyenne?
I'm on Twitter at Poopflowers.
And David?
My guy Dave, and our show is on Wednesday.
Coolio.
Check it out.
Don't what?
Never mind.
Okay, cool. Check out all the stuff, and peace.